Okay. So, the topic that I wanted to cover today is Christmas, since we're going to be doing Christmas.
Very appropriate.
Christmas as a family, not just Christmas as you guys individually, but this is Christmas for all of us.
Okay.
The four of us. So to kind of get us going and kind of in the mood, I'd like to ask you both, what's your favorite Christmas carol?
I think mine is probably "O Holy Night."
Well, what's yours, Dad?
First Noel.
I want you both to sing the first line.
I don't know the line.
Oh, come on.
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the day of our dear Savior's birth.
Okay, and what's yours? You said the first Noel?
The first Noel. That's it.
Oh, come on.
The angels did.
I'm not gonna play
Okay, are we kind of in the Christmas mood now? Huh? That's a good start.
Anyway, I'll mention that later.
Okay. So, obviously you're back in Ohio and we're starting to have some cold weather. So I thought an appropriate question to kind of start with is, do you prefer a white Christmas or a green Christmas?
I prefer a white Christmas when the children get up, so at least they know that Santa was able to put down the sled, and the reindeer were able to come and get the stuff and all of that. And then I want it to all melt before 10 o'clock in the morning.
What about you?
We have no children. We have no grandchildren anymore that celebrate Christmas the way that we used to. I prefer a warm Christmas.
Okay.
Yes.
But you don't want it to look out the window and see some snow on Christmas Eve?
Zero snow.
Okay.
I might have to drive through that stuff.
So, what's your favorite place to be during the holidays?
With family.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, naturally, it's with the family, sure.
Over at Val's, or does it feel more Christmassy over there? Here?
I always felt more Christmassy at home, but we've done vows for so many years, I guess.
We haven't missed but one, I think, you know, since the girls have been born, so that's been 95.
Yep.
You know, we haven't missed a Christmas at Valerie's house. And then there were a few years there between that we were there at Val's house too, because we lived in South Carolina. And we would come back, you know. But it was nice when I was able to have kids at home. And I remember, you know, just having the little ones there to open presents and with my tree.
Yeah. So, what is or has been your favorite Christmas movie? Dad, what's your favorite Christmas movie?
Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Yeah, you never seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's a Christmas movie.
Okay. What's your favorite Christmas movie, Mom?
It's Miracle on 34th Street.
Yeah. Is that really? What's your favorite Christmas movie?
No. It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah? That's a good movie. What's your favorite kind of Christmas cookie?
Lemon, I think. I like those lemon cookies that Mom makes with the girls.
Lemon bars?
Yeah.
What's yours, Mom?
Well, it has to be gingerbread.
The gingerbread cookies, the soft gingerbread cookie?
Yeah.
And Dad, I gotta ask you this one. Which one? Chocolate fudge? Peanut butter fudge?
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter? Mom, which one are you going for?
I like both.
I know, I don't care.
Yeah.
They go before any cookie. That's all I know. The cookies are way down the list.
Yeah.
We start with the fudge, we end with the fudge. If I got nothing but a tray of fudge, I'm good to go.
You're good to go. Okay, I'll remember that.
I like chocolate in there about every fourth one.
Yeah. Did you ever receive any especially memorable Christmas cards or letters?
Maybe a special one that I got when Daddy was in Korea.
Yeah.
It was special because made me feel like he was there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he wasn't there, and he had sent a special present for me and for Valerie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it was special.
Yeah. I know Todd and I, we were just talking earlier today about an art or something that you don't see like you used to, is the Christmas card update letters. You know, remember how people used to send everything that was going on during the year,
Yeah.
and they'd kind of send a synopsis?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember doing that at all?
We never did.
I
don't
never
think.
did. Just maybe certain family members that that you were out of town that you wouldn't be seeing, maybe, or old friends. You would send a little note, but it would be handwritten and it wouldn't, be typewritten out in a letter. I think your sister still does a good bit of that. Yeah.
Even Christmas cards. You don't get Christmas cards
No.
near like you used to.
Not since
I
the
mean,
internet.
I used to have them just all across my mantle and just tons of them.
Well, two reasons: the internet and $8 a card.
True.
Or a box, you get
Yeah.
your box
So
of
you,
cards.
you buy boxes like $16 for 20 cards.
And then your stamps too.
Yeah.
You know, but we've always tried to send cards.
Mhm.
Especially to special people. That are family that you don't see often enough.
Okay. So the next topic I kind of want to go into, and I'm going to kind of have a break at the end of each of these little sections. So if you think of something along the way, we can kind of add to it. So the first topic I want to kind of talk about is Christmas with Val and I as little toddlers and little kids.
Mm-hmm.
Really before the Santa Claus days and stuff like that. So kind of that early time. So I guess probably a good place to start is, what's your earliest Christmas memory of really the three of you before me? Because you were in Korea in '64.
Mm-hmm.
So 65 would have been the first Christmas. I was trying to think this through. Your first Christmas back in '65, the three of you.
Mm-hmm.
What do you remember of that Christmas? Do you remember anything?
Mm-hmm.
If you say it, I might remember, but I can't think of anything.
I remember that Santa Claus brought Valerie a crib for her baby doll, and a stroller.
So she would have been almost 2.
Yeah, we've got slides of that.
Yeah.
See, because my
Yeah.
camera was still working then.
Yeah.
And I remember Daddy, putting the crib together and the stroller together and that sort of thing, And it was mostly doll baby stuff for her.
Yeah, because at 2,
Yeah.
it's clothes and necessities and
Yes.
stuff like that.
For,
So I was thinking about you guys, that first Christmas.
for Daddy and I remember, I think it was not about us. It was about her.
Yeah, it was the first one.
Her first Christmas. And getting maybe some gifts for, cousins and, like Wally and Crystal and Tom,
Mhm.
But, and then of course Nami and Grandma and so on. But it wasn't about Daddy and I having Christmas. It was just
So no, and most of it was like new baby clothes.
Yeah.
You know,
So where was that first Christmas in '65?
that would have
Where
been
were you living?
14th Street.
Satterfield.
Hmm?
Satterfield Street.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We didn't finish the year up at 14th.
Mm-mm. The Satterfield Street.
Okay.
And that's when we had the Is that when we had the accident too?
Well,
We had
okay.
the accident then too with the Simca.
Because you were still an infant. That's right. You
Yeah.
had the
Well,
Simca.
I wouldn't have been born yet because we're still talking '65.
Yeah,
So I wasn't around, so that would have been the next
That
year.
would have been the next year. Yeah.
So it was,
I thought that we had the first year there in 14th, but maybe not.
No, we didn't have a tree up in
Okay.
14th Street.
All right.
okay. So in '66, so then I come around.
Mm-hmm.
So it obviously would have been different having 2 kids and now a little
Right.
baby.
Right.
So was that on Satterfield Street also?
Yes, that was on Satterfield Street. And I remember Valerie getting you a present,
Okay.
and it was a dog, like a squeezy dog,
It was Dachshund?
I don't remember what kind
I'm
of
thinking
dog
it was
it
a
was,
dachshund.
but it was a dog. But
we
she
don't
was
know.
all
Like the Lionel.
excited, you know, and she helped wrap it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, just putting paper, you know, and it was just all wrinkled, and, you know, but it was going to be for the baby and
No,
for
at least
you.
it wasn't aluminum foil.
Yeah, it wasn't aluminum foil. And, but that was the year that we had gone to a friend of Daddy worked with, and for the evening, and she had put my hair up in rollers, and we had spent the evening playing cards, and you slept, and Valerie went to sleep, and we came home. It was about midnight, and we had an accident at the high level bridge there at East Side.
Was that
At the
right
light.
near Christmas, or was that
Was it Christmas Eve?
It was like Christmas Eve.
okay?
Yeah.
Horrible.
And of course the car, that's when Valerie was pinned in the back seat, and Daddy had to pull the seat out.
Did you say it was a drunk driver that hit you?
Yeah.
Was he hurt at all?
No.
No.
No. Daddy, I think, got a whiplash from it.
I can't remember what the Ford was called. The Chevy was the El Camino, but it was the Ford
Ranchero.
Ranchero. Yeah. That's
Okay.
what
That's what
it
it
is.
is. And I heard the brakes, and of course Daddy could see it in the back mirror, in the mirror.
You said not just through the intersection, right?
No,
Yeah, I
it's
mean-
true.
I was sitting there waiting on the light, and it threw me back. I let go of the wheel.
Did you even see it coming or not?
No, I mean I could see the headlights coming, but
Yeah.
you weren't expecting him to hit you.
Yeah.
But I remember hearing it and
But
hearing
it
the
was
squeal.
loud. It was loud,
You
and
know.
we were headed straight for the gas pumps because there was a gas station in that corner right there.
Right there.
It's not
Because
there anymore.
when you come off of the bridge if you come from downtown, you know, you've come off of the bridge, you were there at the end, and then there's a gas station right ahead. But the road would turn,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or it would turn and then go up the hill State Street where Uncle Alan used to live, up towards
Yeah.
that way. And Daddy managed to, I don't know how he managed, but he managed to miss those fuel pumps.
It was that close to the pumps.
Uh-huh.
That would have been bad.
Well, I mean, I couldn't steer.
It was
Okay,
just
so
lock. It was.
Yeah,
the only thing I could do was hit the brakes as hard as I could.
and you pulled emergency brake,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
You know, and
Did the guy come through the intersection too, or just us?
I don't even
He
know.
just boot
I
us
don't
through.
even
I think he did part of it. I think he did part of it. His car did.
Wow.
Yeah, and the restaurant there was Hando's. The gas station was closed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it was like midnight. You know, Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And that, but Hando's was open. They were cleaning up.
They were just finished.
Yeah,
They
they were
closed.
cleaning
they
up. And they of course heard it, and they come out to help us. You know
But we didn't. No one needed to squat or anything.
No, and
How'd you get home?
you didn't wake up at all.
Yeah.
You did not wake up, cry, nothing.
Somebody had to come pick us up.
Valerie was scared because
Mhm.
she couldn't move her legs, and Daddy got her out and comforted her, and then we went to the gas station or to the Hando's restaurant, and they fixed hot chocolate for Valerie, you know, and asked if we could do anything for you and so on, and then we called Aunt Arlie, called over at Mom's house because Aunt Arlie and Uncle Junior had come in.
Was there snow on the ground or anything like that?
No, it was
Yeah.
cold, but not bitter.
Uh huh.
And so they came and picked us up and took us to Mom's house. We went over to Mom's house. I don't know why we did that, but we did. We went to Mom's house. I think because we were still so shook, you know. And I know in the morning I had to give you some. You still weren't on heavy food. You were still on light food because you were so little. You know, you were late getting regular baby food. So I know I had to give you cream of wheat, you know, and stuff. And Arlie said, put it in his bottle. Let him, maybe he'll do better with it in the bottle. And so on. But we did that. And then they took us up to the house, you know. But there wasn't any interruption as far as Christmas was concerned with Valerie, you know. And I don't know, could it have been maybe a couple of days before Christmas? It was just like right there, though. I mean, it was right there of that time frame.
So,
But,
so yeah. So do you remember your first Christmas tree?
It was artificial. I don't think it was real tree that year. Was it?
Is that back when they?
You think?
I think it was.
Hmm.
I think it was, because I don't think we had an artificial tree, because we wouldn't have the money. You would have went and picked one up for $6.95 or something at the gas station.
Probably. You're
You
right.
know.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Do you remember any of the first Christmas gifts you said Valerie got?
Valerie got the baby stuff, you know,
Uh huh.
and you just got little toys, you know, little
Yeah,
playthings,
those first
little
couple-
tiny
yeah.
books that you get that first year. You're only like 6 months old, you know.
So when did the brown shoes? When did that happen for Val?
When she was 6 years old.
So that'd be like 69 or so.
Mm-hmm.
So how exactly did that happen? How'd that story?
We didn't think.
No.
We bought a bunch of gifts, and we were wrapping gifts up, and the last thing left, I don't remember exactly how it happened, but what we should have done is given her the brown shoes for Christmas as another one of multiple gifts, and saved a baby doll or something for her birthday. It was 4 days later, you know.
What, you just set a gift aside?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, brown shoes, a 6-year-old kid. What difference?
You
does
didn't
it make?
know the gifts? You didn't unwrap it? Or...
Oh, I knew
no.
it was shoes. I knew it was her shoes. I knew that, you know. But
We
we
thought
just
she liked new shoes.
she needed new shoes, you know, and
What was her reaction?
Well, oh, it was.
thank you.
You go back and look at it. It's hilarious.
You know,
Do you have it on video
I
anywhere?
think it's on movie.
I have
believe.
that on film.
I think so. And you know, it was just one of those things that you just didn't think about. And then too, I don't know. I mean, you know, we had a birthday cake and that Mom made, and
Mhm.
but we never did birthday cakes like they do now. You know,
Right.
with themes and all that. You know, like the girls have. But I always made a birthday cake for you, candles. And
Yeah, they generally were homemade.
yeah. Yeah.
So, tell me about you guys buying gifts. And this is just when we're little. Did you buy gifts all year long and set them aside, kind of like Val does? Or would you buy them all at once, like in November or December?
Mostly it was in December, November, December, unless it was something special that you were saving for.
And you set it aside?
And it's like that year of 65, or 66 rather, that Christmas of 66, when you were born, and Ann was there, and we were living on Satterfield Street, and we didn't have a lot of money,
Right.
you know, and Daddy was working hard, and 2 kids. We have to go to the laundromat, and Daddy, we had put out money down to buy a house. We were going to be buying a house, and so we were kind of, you know, taking it easy too. And I got Daddy a can of shaving cream and some aftershave lotion.
That was your Christmas gift for
an
him?
aftershave
A can of
lotion
shaving
to
cream?
use.
That was good.
Yeah. And Daddy got me a box of Tide.
That might go down as one of the worst gifts in the history of gifts.
It turns out it was one of the best Christmas presents
Uh-huh.
because we knew we were going to be moving in the spring into our home, and since we were going to the laundromat with diapers for 2 kids, you know.
Oh, back in the cloth diaper days.
Cloth diaper, no paper diapers. And he had already purchased the washer and dryer that was to be delivered to the new home when we moved in.
Just curious, was that the same? Was it the Whirlpool washer?
Maytag.
Or the Maytag that you had for?
25 years.
Yeah. Because I know I've had mine now since '94, and it's still working. 26 years, and mine's was Kenmore from Sears. I've had 26 years. Certainly got my money's worth
Yes,
out
you
of
have.
that.
Yes, you have.
So, what do you remember about taking us to get our Christmas pictures with Santa?
First one, as I recall, was at Murphy's.
Where was Murphy's?
G.C. Murphy's was downtown Fairmont. There were two ways you could get in.
Okay.
You get in the east side way, which was going up the hill. You know how you go up the hill and they're going into Fairmont from east side? You're going, okay? There was an entrance right there. That's where most East Siders went in. Or you could go up, turn down the hill, and then Murphy's had an entrance. Their grand entrance was down on Adams Street. But the Santa, I think, was more easily accessible from the hill, wasn't it? Because it was downstairs from east side. Yeah. But I because we've looked at the picture, I remember it like it was yesterday. I don't remember much about it, but just that photograph.
Do you remember Val or I being scared to go see
you
Santa?
both were.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Excited because we talked to you about it. You got there and were like, oh my God, it's the man.
Yeah.
What-
And he wasn't a very good Santa.
He was, didn't
No.
didn't look good, or
Yeah.
or did he look like he maybe had some alcohol issues?
No, he just looked fake. You know, his beard and everything. He didn't look like a real Santa.
Uh-huh.
You
Not
know,
like the ones today.
That's right. It didn't put as
The
much.
next
in
year
it.
was a pretty good guy, though.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, I don't know about that either. But the next year, I know you were a little better because you were a little older. You were a little scared the first time. Valerie was also, but she was trying not to be for you. And she kept saying, "It's okay. It's okay."
She's trying to comfort me.
Comfort you, yeah, because you were the one sitting going to be on his lap, and you went first, you know, on his lap, and she seemed to be more, you know, protecting you, and that you were okay, you know.
At that point, did we write letters to Santa? Do you remember?
No, you guys weren't writing yet. That didn't happen.
Well, I didn't know if you worked with us to write a letter to take to Santa or something.
Yeah, I
No,
don't remember.
I think mostly you just would talk to Santa and tell him what you wanted.
Yeah.
Do you remember what we said? Can you remember back to any of that?
I can't remember except Valerie. She always wanted it all, baby. I remember that, and I remember
you probably wanted a truck.
A truck.
I like my trucks, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
Truck.
Did we get many gifts those first few years? I know you were talking about money and so forth. You know, compared to what the girls have gone through without Jeff. You know, where it's to an extreme. What was it like for us? The early years.
Early years. Like I said,
They weren't expensive things. I know that.
No, because you were so little, and you know, and you needed little things, but you had a bunch of stuff, but it didn't cost a lot, you know. And Nami, I knew Nami would always get Valerie's doll for her, the one doll that she asked for. She would always do that. She did the same with Crystal.
Okay, that was her one gift.
That
Was it from her,
them.
or did she make it from Santa?
No, it was from Nami.
Okay.
And I don't remember the boys. I think they were all different. You know, you and Tom and Wally. I remember her buying a gift for you too. And it was always something you wanted though. You know, like when you were like maybe 3 or 4, whether it was a bulldozer or a dump truck. You know.
So in those early years, were we all together with the cousins at Christmas?
We would get together usually over at Mom's. Nami over at Mom and Pap's because Nami was with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And sometimes at Gus's. We'd go there.
Daddy would come there. Usually.
I couldn't remember. I thought we went over to his house.
We did some when we were a little older, when they were a little older, but he would come to the house usually too on Christmas because he would make the rounds. You know.
So in those early years, did we open gifts at home? Or did we open them at Nami's? Or, you know,
you opened
in the early years.
The things from Santa, you opened at home.
Okay.
And then
you had a second Christmas
then
over
you
at
had
Dollar's.
second Christmas, you know, when you went over there, you got something special. And then when Grandpa Gus come, you got something special again. It was like, you know, another Christmas, and, you know.
So did anybody, you or because it sounds like it would have been such a Grandpa Gus thing, did anyone ever dress up as Santa Claus?
I don't remember any.
I never did.
I know you never did.
I remember my dad one year somehow got up on the roof of the house, stomping around.
Of our house?
No,
When you were-
our house.
when you were a little kid.
Out in the country.
Yeah.
No, I was like 10 or 12 or 13.
Yeah.
Something like
But he never came over and did it when
No.
we were kids. Did
No.
you have the bells or anything in the house,
Oh.
kind of like what we've done for Lindsay and McKenna?
He had a bell rattle of some kind.
Yeah, he had bells. So I remember.
And of course, the three of us guys, this was before Mike was born, the three of us guys were, sleeping in the same bedroom. Okay? So,
Yeah.
So did you ever put lights up outside the house?
yeah.
I'm trying to remember if you
Back
did
in the
early,
day-
early years. I'm
Back
not
in
talking
the day, outside lights and inside lights were two different animals.
hmm
And the outside lights were much bigger.
I remember those big bulbs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they were a pain. I mean, a real pain because they were heavy. And you tried to suspend them up on the eaves. And that was just, it was a mess.
So did you do that on Satterfield Street or
No, not
Bridgeport?
Satterfield. No,
or,
I
we
think
did
we
it
did
over
on
at
Cornett.
Cornett Street.
okay.
And that was about the end of that. Whenever we moved down to, down to Bridgeport. I don't think that we did it there.
No, I think we decorated a tree that was out by the driveway, the big spruce that was
Yeah,
out by the
yeah,
driveway.
that's right.
And I think we probably decorated some bushes and always had a wreath or something on the door,
As far as icicles and that stuff hanging down that lit up.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't really, you think back, since LEDs came out, it hasn't been real easy to do.
Yeah.
It's been, because they're lightweight, easy to work with.
So I'm going to ask this at every section in time, just in case, I'm just going off of what I remember. Is there anything in particular you remember, anything else that you remember especially about those Christmases in the early years in West Virginia? Anything about Grandpa Gus or Nami or anything that sticks out that was pertinent to us, to Val and I?
The one thing I remember, one Christmas, I got upset with your father. Is at Christmas time, he was going to go and take you children to go cut down your tree. Cut down
This
the
is
tree.
Dad or Grandpa Gus?
Daddy.
Okay.
It'd take you to the first time
Okay.
to ever do that, and we lived on Cornett Street.
Okay.
And it was in December, of course, there was snow, and I didn't want him to go. I didn't want him to do it, and I kept trying to get him to, let's do it another day, let's do it next week, or let's,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and you were so excited. Oh my gosh.
So I was?
Oh yes, and that. Oh, you had to go get your boots and gloves and you're going to the woods. You're going to chop down the tree and put it on the sled.
Was it a Christmas tree farm or?
I think it was
It
just
was, but it was up
woods.
on a hill. No, it was a Christmas tree farm.
It was up towards Mannington Way.
past Mannington,
Yeah,
going up toward 100.
right.
It was off on the right, and we had to go up the hill to get it
Yeah.
Okay.
and
I
drag
kept,
it down.
and I kept saying, no, you and Valerie were just adamant,
So why were you mad?
I was upset because I had a surprise birthday planned for him that night
Oh.
at the house.
Did he go anyway?
Yes.
So then everyone shows up and he's not there?
No, he got home before that, but I knew what was going to happen. He was going to come home, and I'm going to have these two kids and a husband with wet clothes all over the place. I was trying to get things ready for a surprise party without him knowing anything, Holly and Chuck and probably Susie and all of them,
Let me see. So this would have been, what year do you think that would have been?
Let's see. It could have been 60.
Would have been 68?
Could have been, or 70. We left there in 70.
Probably 68 or 69.
Well, I'm trying to think.
I'm trying to think.
68, you would have been 25.
That's what I'm
I'm
thinking.
thinking
Birthday special.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, something about your birthday.
Because it would have been 30.
No.
I'm just trying to think because you would have only been 2,
But
right?
yeah, in '68, you don't.
No, I think you were 3.
You were.
I'm pretty
you were
sure
a
you
little
were
older
3.
too.
So you think it was 69?
Yeah, I think so.
Probably.
Or maybe 70 even.
It could have been 70.
I thought we left.
We moved in 70 or early in 70. No, around summertime.
Oh, so you're getting.
No,
You can remember where the party
71.
was.
Huh?
You can tell by where the party was, right?
Mhm.
What house?
Mm-hmm.
So what house was that at?
Cornett Street.
Okay.
It
Cornett
was
Street.
before we moved to Bridgeport.
Yeah, it was before we moved. But see, I had planned. Okay, I'm having these sandwiches, and
Yeah.
I hid food from him. I mean, I had it in
He was messing up everything.
in your closets. I mean, in the utility room and the toy boxes everywhere. I had
800
stuff.
square feet. We didn't have a lot of places.
You
to hide
know.
stuff.
Yeah.
No. And then I had people coming, like Holly, and they were going to bring stuff and the cake and oh man, But anyway, he did get home. I got you his bathe.
Just in time for
About
Christmas.
just in time, just about, and I'm huffing and puffing. I know
Oh.
because it's probably I had to get you fed. I had to,
Oh my gosh.
It's a good tree though.
But anyway, and then he said something to me about I don't know why you got so upset or something. Why you're hurrying around? We got all night or something.
And then
Yeah. Because evidently that wasn't the birthday day of his,
Right.
So he wasn't thinking that. So, but anyway, I think Nami came over, Grandpa Gus showed up. I mean, it was a nice party we were having.
that's funny.
And I think it was the first birthday he had. I really do. I think it was the first birthday party he had
Yeah,
for a long time.
Yep.
I think Jennings and Pat even came.
Probably.
Yeah, and is that the Christmas I gave you your ring?
Masonic ring?
Uh-huh.
Probably.
I
Yeah.
bet it was the same
Yeah.
Christmas I got him his Masonic ring,
Oh,
and I borrowed money. I took money out of my food money
you've been setting it aside?
and set it aside, and I was short a little bit, and I borrowed it from Nami so
Huh.
I could pick it up. I had it on layaway.
What would a ring have cost back then?
Back then I paid what,
Probably 50.
50 or 60?
Oh, that was a lot of money back then. Huh?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Taken out of food,
Yeah.
You didn't eat very good, did you?
Nope. So, okay, so I'm going to move on to the next period in time.
Okay.
Okay? So we're out of West Virginia. We go to Omaha.
Mhm.
Okay? And obviously there's a lot. Now my memory starts kicking in. I can remember things, right? I don't remember Satterfield Street or something.
Yeah.
Right? But Omaha, I start remembering Christmas. So obviously the first thing I remember when I think about Christmas was the long drive back and forth from Omaha to West Virginia. I remember that long drive.
Mhm.
About 14 hours.
And things I remember us singing Christmas carols in the song, or in the car. Do you remember that
Mhm.
on the way? But a memory that certainly I think of is as we were driving, this might just bring back a memory, is we'd be driving and we would be looking out the back of, I think it was the Electra 225.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
That's the car we had.
And looking for Rudolph up in the reindeer up in the sky.
Mhm.
And I remember we'd be staring out the back of the car,
Mhm.
and you would be like, I think I see
Yeah.
Rudolph anytime we'd see a plane.
Mhm.
You know, you'd see like the red light.
Mhm. Mhm.
Oh.
Daddy did that to you.
And what a great memory.
Yeah, Daddy did
You
that.
know, and I mean, you'd be like, oh,
Mhm.
Rudolph!
Oh wow.
Those were
Do
great.
you remember playing the alphabet game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With license plates and signs and everything.
Just
Mhm.
anything to kill the time.
Yeah, the other thing I remember right around those times, and it's right when they came out, was watching the claymation videos that came out, you know, with Rudolph. Santa Claus is coming
Still
to
playing
town.
them today. They're
You
still
know,
playing them
Frosty.
today.
You remember watching all those? Those were the best every year. And that's when I think all that stuff started, right? In the late 60s. Because that wasn't when you were kids. You guys didn't have Frosty. And,
No.
It was different.
Yeah. So, when we were in Omaha, did we always have Christmas there? Or did you ever take the presents? I seem to remember, didn't one year we took all the presents to West Virginia? But only like once, I think.
Oh, we were only there a couple of years.
Right.
And I think we came home for Thanksgiving one year, and but didn't at Christmas, you know.
Okay.
And then the other was the other time.
We only had 2 Christmases there.
Yeah, and I remember we had the freezer in the garage without any meat in it because we'd had to empty it.
In Omaha?
In Omaha. When we moved to Omaha, it was empty. And so it was that Christmas. I remember I would wrap all the presents and I'd put them in the freezer.
Really?
That's
That
where
was
I
a
hid
hiding
them.
place.
The big tall freezer?
I hid them in there.
Ah, I remember.
Yeah, because it was too
I
hard.
couldn't have opened it either.
No, it was too hard for you to open. You know? And I don't think you kids ever found anything that I did. I don't know if you did or
Not at that point.
I
no.
don't think.
No.
And then one year we went. We took everything. We put it in the trunk of the car. You know, we had game. We didn't take everything because I think you had the train set. Daddy had set the train set up then.
Yeah.
And I think that's the year we got the organ.
Yeah, I got questions on that coming up.
But we did take one year, and Nami put a little tree up, and that's the year that you and Valerie made the wooden ornaments, painted them.
I have that too.
For Nami, and you took the ornaments to her to put on the tree. She had the little tree in there by her refrigerator in the dining room, and we put presents out, you know, for Christmas morning there. Yeah.
You know, things I remember at Nami, you know, and I talked about this the other day. I remember the nuts and the nutcracker, you know, but I also remember her always having the ribbon candy. Do you remember the little tiny pieces of ribbon candy? And she'd always have the red ones in there. Again, I just remember that like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Red, green, and white. And some of them striped.
Yeah. So here are some of the gifts I remember from Omaha. Okay?
Omaha?
From Omaha, specifically. The first being the organ. How'd you pull that off? How'd you get that in the house? Okay? I figure there's got to be a good story to this.
Yeah.
What was you leaving over kosher's or something?
We had bought it and we had it delivered at Kosher's, like 2 days before Christmas or whatever.
Okay.
Just right before that.
What, they put it in their driveway?
Garage. In the garage.
That's fine.
Yeah, and they had it all covered up, you know.
Okay.
So that their kids wouldn't know what was going on.
Right.
That night, Christmas Eve, then I think people had seen each other through the day. People hustle, bustle, you know, picking up stuff and running to the store and hi, Merry Christmas, and come over, have a drink, you know, and Nitzes, Koshers, Durbans, you know, everybody in that little group there. And they would, you know, come over and have a drink, and Daddy worked until noon. You know, then they had
on Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve, he worked.
Probably had a Christmas party.
And so he was half bombed when he came home from work, and so was everybody else who was in the neighborhood, who had been going door to door, and so after you kids were in bed asleep, and I remembered Mr. Nitz and Mr. Kosher and Daddy. They got together to have a drink. It was about midnight.
It was that late?
Oh, yeah, because you kids were in bed. You know, we had to make sure you were asleep. Well, in the meantime, the snow hit. It started snowing, sticking.
And you haven't moved the thing yet.
It weighed about 200 pounds too. It was not light.
And it did have rollers like
Right.
under it. And so Daddy and Mr. Nitz and why can I think of his name?
Rich, kosher.
Rich, but what's Mr. Nitz's name?
Larry.
Larry. So they went over to get it out of the garage, and they had to be careful.
Well, and our driveway kind of went down too.
A little bit, but theirs did too.
Okay.
And so, and they're a little bit,
Bomb?
yeah.
A little bit or a lot bit?
Shh.
Oh my.
You know, you got 3 kids at the Kosers, and our 2 don't want to wake anybody up, you know, and of course it's so still. The night, you know, is so still, it's so dark, and
They making a ruckus?
and they're making noise. But they wheel that thing, the pushing it and pulling it, the 3 of them, from Kosher's house to our house and the garage, to the garage, from one garage to the other. And of course, having to pick it up right when they get to the end of the driveways, you know.
Right, to get it over the lip and,
And
stuff.
they're slipping and sliding,
And they're bomb.
and they're bombed. They're pretty
And nobody
well.
fell.
Nobody fell.
No one got hurt.
Nobody got hurt.
The organ didn't get hurt.
And nobody got hurt. Nobody got woke up, as far as I know. You know, but I thought, oh my God, we'll never do this again. I remember Luann saying the same thing. You know, well, we can't do that ever again. You know.
That's awesome.
But that was a really, it was a really fun thing.
Now, what was your memory of the organ?
So the colored chords,
Mm-hmm.
and I got another one coming up here, but us playing music and stuff on it, piddling more than anything.
Right.
You know, other gifts that I remember that Christmas particularly. I remember that was the year I got the little Evil Knievel motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that?
Jump.
The little white thing. So that was that year. The airplane on a string. Do you remember the airplane?
Mm-hmm.
That little tiny thing, and that thing would zip around.
Around real fast.
Yeah, on the string.
And your football outfit.
So
Jets.
the Joe Namath Jets, the number 12 jersey that I didn't take off.
Mm-hmm.
God, I love that jersey.
Jets.
I'd
Daddy.
love to know if it's in a box somewhere, you know. It wouldn't surprise me if I still have that.
I was going to say, surely you would.
Oh, I wouldn't have thrown it
throw
away.
it away. I can't imagine. If you kept your Cub Scout uniform, you probably kept it.
I still have that little red and white
And your
jacket,
red
too.
jacket. Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, I have the red and white. I have the Cub Scout uniform. The my band jackets, you know, my high school and college. So I kind of keep those all kind of lumped together.
Yeah.
So, okay, then the train stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I didn't get to play with the trains
Cause
much
your
because
daddy.
someone played with the trains.
Yeah.
And
Hadn't nailed it down.
I always remember, and I don't know if you still have the same controller upstairs, but I remember I had that little, like, gold box with the big knob that control. Does
Still
that
have it, yeah.
does that control upstairs
Yeah.
with the train? I didn't know if that was still the same track or any of the stuff.
A little of the track may be the same stuff, but I've changed the track through the years. And I wish I'd changed it all to stainless steel, because then it, you know, you don't have the corrosion you get with the copper track.
Yeah.
You know,
How'd
or
you love it?
brass track.
How'd your love of the trains come about?
I had a Lionel train my mom and dad got for me when we lived out in Edgemont.
Were those the big train cars?
O gauge, yeah.
Okay.
Not the big ones, but you know, it was like maybe that tall.
Yeah, it's still a good size.
Oh, yeah.
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 That's kind of, yeah.
Not the HO.
No, and
No.
no, that's what I got. You know, for us, for you.
Yeah, for us. Right.
The thing I liked about HO was it was only 2 tracks. So Lionel had 3 rails.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a positive and negative, and then
Ground.
but I hated that. It didn't look like railroad track, not with 3 rails.
Mm-hmm.
But it was Lionel, And they had milk cars, and they had log cars, and you could stop at a particular special piece of track, and it would send an electronic or some sort of electrical signal up, and it would open up, or the magnetic or something, and open up the doors, and bottles would come out, or logs would come off the
Milk
train.
cans.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of, I told Daddy I sold one on Marketplace, Lionel, for
Really?
$300 the other day. No track, but
Just the
cars.
track.
And it had cars, the big cars, like
3 engines though.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the engines had the 2
Wow.
diesel ones.
That was worth it.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to start another collection.
Then the other thing I remember that year was the Hot Wheels with that orange track.
Mm-hmm.
You remember the orange track?
Mm-hmm.
So those are the toys that I can remember at that point in time. I don't know if there were others. Can you think of any other toys right in that? There any of Val's in those years in Omaha?
No, they were weird dolls all the time.
Yeah.
They would do
Oh.
something, Betsy Wetsy, and stuff like that. I'm trying to think. When I got you that jersey, we've had to have that made someplace or ordered it. I can't remember where it came. Or did I? No, I got that on a trip somewhere.
It had
Didn't I?
the letters were like a felt. Do you remember?
I think I got that on a trip someplace,
Yeah.
and probably had to be near New York.
But it didn't say Namath, but it was Joe Namath's jersey. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't remember except when we went to Omaha is when Valerie started into majorette stuff.
So is that when
And
she would have
that's
got her
when we-
baton?
We started getting her good baton
Mm-hmm.
because the one she had found was a little, just a play toy.
Right.
Toy baton, wasn't a weighted
Mm-hmm.
baton. And so that's when we started that kind of stuff with her. And she started with some little jewelry pieces and
Mhm.
things like that. More so. She was more into games, you and her together.
Didn't you
know.
do an etch a
Oh, yeah.
sketch along there?
And, it was
We had
before
Light
that.
Bright.
Light Bright,
Yeah, that's right.
Kerplunk.
Yeah, I remember this with the.
Yeah, when Valerie's arm broke, would play with
Yeah,
her feet.
and I remember we play what was pickup sticks.
Yeah,
Remember us all
which
playing?
was also like Kerplunk kind of.
Mhm, yeah.
You had to pull them out. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, but it was different games, Candyland and
Oh yeah.
Sorry and those kind of games that you and her were playing in Omaha too.
Right. So, do you remember how we picked out gifts as kids back then? Now the kids do it on the internet and they send you links and so forth. Did we have a catalog, or did you go to a store, or was it through
Both.
TV commercials,
Probably all of the above.
All that.
or did you just pick it out, just go to the store and get stuff,
Well,
or was it more stuff we asked
no,
for?
generally you guys would go with us to the
Yeah.
store once and just kind of look things over, and we'd sit
Yeah.
there and try to gauge your eyeballs
Yeah.
and see which one seemed, to be interesting you the most.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't talk because, it was Santa Claus that brought that stuff, not us,
Yeah.
So we'd take you down and you kind of look around and all that. And it may have been when they went down to see Santa that was a big trip.
Did we
down.
make lists for you?
Yeah, you did.
like-
you would make lists. You would make
The
a
stuff we
list.
want.
Yeah, I remember that.
Do you still have
Especially
them
in
anywhere?
Omaha.
You still have them
Mhm.
anywhere?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
So the next one's for you, Dad, as I think about this, and it's kind of along the same lines as the organ. But do you ever remember any particular gift, staying up all night to put it together, or breaking something, or it not going the way you expected it to?
There was something that we put together. I don't know whether it was Valerie's, was a dollhouse or something like that in Omaha.
The dollhouse.
Is that what it was? I couldn't remember. And we were like, God, is this thing ever going to go? Again, we were lit. And we had
Hey, the
pieces.
two of you putting it together?
Mm-hmm.
No, I had some.
You
I
were
thought,
doing
no,
most of
I
it.
thought I had somebody else. Was it just us?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there were pieces left over, and where's this thing go? I mean, it's got to go someplace.
Uh-huh.
So it was an incomplete dollhouse. But she liked it anyway.
That's
Yeah.
funny. I don't remember Val with a dollhouse.
And she didn't care for it as much as she thought she would.
Uh-huh.
You know.
Yeah, I don't remember her playing with a dollhouse.
Yeah.
And it's the one where you have the front and then the back is open and you can see the
Yeah.
different, like, 6 rooms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny. I just don't remember her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really remember her playing with dolls other than that big, giant one that had the thing on its head, the ballerina doll. That's like
I'm trying to remember, was there any glue involved with that?
I don't remember.
It's got to be.
Probably.
And the reason I say that
probably
is
had
because
to-
it was big.
there
It
was
was not a
metal-
little tiny
There was probably
dollhouse.
little metal tabs that you had to squeeze, and then they fit into something else.
Could be, but
you know.
I'm thinking there was glue involved.
But it was metal.
And the reason I say that is because the house was metal.
Yeah.
Oh, I was
House
thinking it
was
was
metal.
wood.
It was metal.
It wasn't like Jeff putting together the barn. You remember him putting that barn together for McKenna for the horses?
No, it was like us putting the airplane together for McKenna. The Barbie airplane.
Oh yeah.
Where's this sticker go?
Decals, forget it. We put a couple in there, but they didn't all.
Yeah, we didn't get them all.
You kind of alluded to something also here, Laura. Did you ever think we were going to catch you guys putting out the presents where you were like, oh crap?
Sometimes I worried, you know, maybe you weren't feeling so good, or probably more than anything, just anxious, you know, and that you couldn't sleep or something, and you'd catch us as we were opening or putting out presents, because we didn't put them out till Christmas, you know, after you were in bed.
Yeah, it was like most of the time 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. When you
were up late.
You guys were sound asleep.
You didn't just wait 15 minutes after we went to bed.
No, we waited, and usually during that period, Daddy and I would lots of times fix hot chocolate, and we'd exchange a gift or exchange a Christmas
the two of you?
card and that evening, Christmas Eve.
Did we always get new pajamas on Christmas Eve?
No, not always.
No, because
No.
I always seem to remember Christmas Eve you'd have pajamas for us, and wasn't that mainly for the photos? Yeah.
Yeah, they were nice pajamas.
Nice pajamas.
But I mean, maybe it was pretty much because you guys are growing. You couldn't wear the same pair of pajamas from year to year.
Yeah.
So it probably was a new pair of pajamas.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
Or maybe you got a robe one year instead of pajamas, and you'd have the robe on Christmas morning, you know. I remember you with a little red robe, a little plaid red robe. When you were
With
little.
like pajama pants, right?
And
Flannel.
Yeah, I seem to.
And you were like maybe 4.
I remember that.
That's because I had one. You know, kids got to wear grown-up stuff like their dad. You know.
So in Omaha, was Val still believing in Santa Claus?
Well, I thought so.
Mm-hmm.
I never, and she never said anything to us that you knew anything. And I know we always told her, when she got to going to school.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you remember how she found out?
No.
No.
No, she would have been 11 then, 10 or 11.
Okay. And did you tell her to keep a secret from me?
Yeah, I'm sure I did. I
Yeah.
did.
Like, don't ruin it?
Mhm.
Did she play in that?
I think so.
Oh, she played.
I think so, unless
Yeah.
you told me different.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember her telling you?
No.
Do you remember finding out that there wasn't one?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember?
Mm-mm.
I don't remember. And I'm glad.
I'm glad
I
to.
feel bad for the kids that, find out too soon.
That's
and,
right. That's right.
Or the parents that, tell their kids and then they go ruin,
Yeah.
I'm like, so, do you remember which of us would come and wake you up first?
When you were wee little.
In Omaha. Well, yeah, we can go to both. When we were real little.
When you were wee little, it would be Valerie, But as you got older, it was you.
Uh-huh.
As you got older, I think you just couldn't wait. You couldn't wait. As long as you could get out of your bed, you're going to be the first one up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And make you guys nervous as all get out. Because we'd say, wait, we're not ready yet. You know.
Oh, I remember that.
And then we had, as you got older, you had to bring mom and dad coffee. You know.
Yeah, I got that. I got that coming up.
Downstairs.
I got that when we're getting a little older.
Before we get down the steps.
So now, Omaha's when I remember, and maybe you had it before this, but it's when I remember it, was the first nativity scene that you had. You had those little nativity statuettes. You know what I'm talking about? Do you still have that?
I don't know if I have the original ones that I had, but I had the original one. The first ones I had on Cornett Street.
Okay. See, I just don't remember it from back then, but I remember you had one.
Yeah, but I don't think I still have that one. I just have a 3-piece set now. Just
because I remember the little baby, and I can picture the kings just as clear as can be in my head.
And I know I have said several years, I've said, you know, and we need to do this again, do a different one. Especially in that, and Valerie did one, you know, and McKenna broke the ear or the tail of the cow, you know, the cat, or donkey, something, she broke it because she wanted to play with them, you know, when she was little at her house, hers.
Did she get in trouble?
And I don't think Valerie got her, you know, really, you know, in trouble for it. But I think Valerie's been waiting to get a new set too. I think she at one time said she'd like to have the what is it, the Willa?
Oh yeah.
Nativity set.
Gotcha.
It's very expensive. All the different pieces in it.
Oh.
You know, I mean it's like maybe $500-800.
Oh really?
Yeah, to get all the pieces.
Okay.
And it would, and then she said that, and she said, or an all white one, all white. So, but
That'll give me an idea for Christmas gift.
Well, could be. I mean, you know, I know she said that. Now I don't know if she has. I've never seen one over there for a long time.
So, Esther, remember when we were collecting the village? That for a couple of years they had. It was a larger than average Christmas set like that. That it was a collector's group, and you could buy the individual characters. They were about 8 inches to 12 inches tall, somewhere in there. And they were like $80 or $90 a piece. Yeah. And each year they would add new pieces.
The Department 56.
I don't think it was.
Oh well, there's a Department 56 with Bethlehem Village.
Yeah, that's different.
That's different.
That's the houses.
But I thought they also had
these were stand-up characters.
Well, these were too.
Okay.
They had them about yay high. You know, Mary and baby Jesus and.
You remember the same thing, but that wasn't the D56.
I thought it was.
The Christmas Village or the Bethlehem.
I know it was
ended
houses.
up being about 15 or 20 pieces.
Okay. So, at that age, so I'm still thinking of Omaha Years, right? Did we do any Christmas pageants or anything at church or anything? You know, can you remember back to anything where we'd sing like at a Christmas?
At school?
Yeah.
We always had, the Meadows always had Christmas plays, you know. They did the Nativity and all that down there.
Dress up stuff.
Yeah.
So do you remember any?
I remember going to the church or the school for the Christmas things, and the kids would sing and all that.
Do you remember anything in particular? Did Val and I ever dress up for anything like that? Can you remember anything?
I don't recall.
I don't recall you dressing up for any kind of a pageant thing,
You know,
other than your normal dress, but just being a participant in a.
Well, I'm not thinking there was a pilgrim thing that they did one year for Thanksgiving.
Well, they did at Meadows Elementary.
And it could be that you just made paper cutout hats or something.
You did all kind of things at Meadows in Omaha, and you know because the PTO was so active, and all of us mothers were so active in it, you know, and but they were doing stuff for every holiday.
Yeah.
You know, they don't do that now. You don't
Is there any other story from Omaha or anything about Christmas that you can remember, especially about Omaha, that we haven't talked about?
What else? The big gifts that I remember there was train, organ. Had to be something for Valerie.
Easy bake oven.
You know, she had one, but I
She
don't know
had
at
that.
what point.
She had that in Cornett Street.
Yeah.
Because Nami was getting one for Crystal and Valerie the same year.
I seem to remember Val having an easy bake oven in Omaha, because I remember making
Oh,
those
you
little...
had a light bulb in it. You
Yeah.
actually make cookies
Yeah.
and stuff.
But there was a big thing, and then Daddy was really concerned about Crystal and Valerie having one because you both had little brothers, you know.
Afraid we were going to
and
get
afraid
burnt?
you would get hurt. Yeah, and Daddy wasn't too sure that Nami should get that for the girls, but he gave in.
Were there any dangerous gifts back then, like guns that shot BBs or darts or...
No, we stayed away from that. I mean,
I don't even.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember having any issues with that anyway.
Yeah.
You know, back then.
Yeah.
I really don't.
I remember it was when we lived on an Edgeway Drive. That one of the kids, one of the Brummage kids, got a BB gun and shot one of his brothers or buddies or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That went through the neighborhood like wildfire. We could have put his eye out.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the year I didn't get a BB gun.
Okay.
Always wanted to. You know, you've seen that on the
Yeah.
Christmas Story. That was true. Red Ryder, man, that was the one.
Yeah, I think Gary now, and I think Gary in particular, I'm not sure about Al, but I was sure one of them had a BB gun.
Oh, there was something magical about, you know,
I think
clicking
it's
that
scary.
thing,
Yeah.
pumping it up. Yeah, you could
Yeah.
just hear that BB take off.
Yeah,
That bird scream.
I can see where Gary would have wanted the BB gun and Alan would have wanted the microscope.
Yeah.
Yeah, that year. I mean, you know, that would have been.
That's a good one. In Virginia, I remember getting the microscope, but
Yeah.
we're getting ready to go to Virginia. I forgot about that until you just brought that up.
Well, I had a microscope when we moved out to the country, and I was probably 12 or 13, and getting curious about science and all that stuff.
Director sets and
It was almost, and it may have been my freshman year in high school, but I think it was like the 8th grade
Mm-hmm.
when I got that. And it had, I remember, different eyepieces for different magnification. Little glass slides. You could take bugs and.
Oh,
you know,
I remember the glass
scrunch-
slides I had with bugs and things that you got.
mm-hmm.
Same type of deal. So Christmas in Virginia. So we'll move to Virginia now. Okay.
We're up to 74.
Yeah. So we're mid 70s, all right. And if it was real, where did you get our Christmas tree in Virginia? I think we were doing real Christmas trees then.
Probably a parking lot, gas station parking
Yeah.
lot where they
Christmas
sold them.
tree lot.
Yeah, because I was thinking you talking about going to cut trees. I don't remember cutting trees.
That was only the one time.
Yeah,
that I
we did it
remember.
one time. That was the last time.
That was that one
Okay.
year.
But
But
didn't
it
we
was
usually go to like a Christmas tree lot? And
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
they'd have
strapped it
lights.
to-
They'd have lights
didn't-
strung around. You go there of an evening, and the lights will lit them up, so and, you know you look at
And
them.
you'd put it on the roof of the car, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
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 And then I can always remember you messing around trying to get the tree level and being mad. That red bowl with the green legs.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
you'd screw in the little thing into the
Had a little
trunk.
nail, had
Yeah.
a nail on the bottom, and then it had 3 screws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no matter what, it would not hold that tree right, and the tree'd lean, and then it'd lean the other way. And
Yeah.
then he'd try spinning it and getting it into the corner. You know, the things I remember
Right.
about. And where I really remember you doing that is in Virginia. That's when I really remember messing around with the tree, because downstairs, I don't know if this was Johowie or Mary, we had like a tile floor.
That was
Mhm.
Joe Howe.
Okay. And that, I remember that
That's the tree that Carol launched herself into.
Yeah, I'm coming to that here in a second.
Or Teresa, rather, yeah.
So speaking of trees, what do you prefer? A real tree or an artificial, or has it changed over time?
In my case, I like a real tree, but I don't like the aggravation that goes with it. So I bite my lip and put up an artificial.
What about you?
I like a real tree too. I like the scent of it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that you're going every year and you're going to pick out, and every year is different. You know, it either is a fat one or a skinny one or
Mm-hmm.
missing branches or whatever, you know. I always had a real tree when I was young, but as we've gotten older, it's just the artificial one is, and especially with the collection with the snow babies, I didn't want to put them on a real tree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, too
So-
easy to get sap on them and stuff.
So, what did we decorate our tree with in Virginia? Were we using glass bulbs at that point?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I remember we had colored lights there
Strings
for
of lights, yeah.
right before you went to all white lights. I remember there were those big bulbs,
Mm-hmm.
those colored.
Yeah.
Now, and I'm trying to think back how we did it. I remember we would do the tree as a family, decorating the tree.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
You set the tree up by yourself.
Mm-hmm. Put the
And-
lights on.
And
Yeah,
did you
put
do
the
the
lights
lights
on.
by yourself?
Usually, or I helped him some.
Okay, and then you would call us, and then we'd help put the.
You had to have it out in the middle of the floor to get the lights on.
Okay.
So if the tree that goes over there, we'd put it in, here, and because you had to walk around it, to get the lights distributed properly and
Right.
not run out 2/3 of the way up, so
Yeah.
that was always a bear. All right.
Okay.
Then I distinctly remember getting under the tree with that green and red holder that you're talking about and pushing that thing back, hoping to God it wouldn't topple over.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And usually Mom would be up above holding
Holding
on to some of the
on to it.
branches. Okay.
So
What a
it
pain.
didn't fall over on him.
And then I remember decorating with those icicles, and we would have our tree loaded with icicles.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you have the icicles when you were kids, or did that come into play when we were?
No,
No,
that was
no.
that was the end of the icicle age.
When you were little.
That was the end of it. After
Yeah,
that,
how long has it been since you've seen a tree with icicles?
yeah, I haven't seen icicles in.
I think they've got them in some stores. You can find.
All they are
icicles.
thin strips of aluminum
Yeah.
foil.
Yeah.
Oh, I can remember us.
Yeah.
Toss
so
them on.
one at a time. Remember, one at a time, and you'd start until I turned my back. And then
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Grandpa Wells
great.
did the same thing. He
Mhm.
did the same. Only he wouldn't just go like that. He would take gobs of them.
Mhm.
When I was little, he would take a gob of them and he'd go. Wherever they fell, they fell.
So now I remember we'd have ornaments, and you had different colored ornaments. And then did you have any other than the bulbs? I'm trying to remember. Did we have any homemade ornaments on our tree?
Yeah, you would have, because every year at school you guys would make either a reindeer out of clothespins or cardboard or something.
Yeah, I
You
couldn't
know,
remember if we had those for our tree or we took them to Nami, because I
Yeah.
specifically remember one that's like this green felt.
I still have it.
You know the one I'm talking about.
I still have it.
Yeah, there's that one, and I'm trying.
That's a nativity.
Yeah.
Inside it, you made it a Cub Scouts.
Okay, I was trying to remember
Cub Scout.
where that came from. Let's see, what else where was I at here?
So we had Marion, okay, and we had the tree downstairs.
Yep. Do we have another tree upstairs?
No,
I don't think so.
no,
We may have, but I don't think so.
I don't think so. And had decorated that thing up pretty nice. And you're right, it was a tile floor, but it was what kind of material was that? It wasn't tile. It was like linoleum squares. Well, it wasn't linoleum, but it was something
It was
like
a
that.
tile.
vinyl tile is what
Yeah.
it was. It was a tan, as I recall, or gray. So it was light color. And we didn't have enough furniture for downstairs. I remember that. So upstairs was pretty nice. We had the upstairs decorated pretty nice. Downstairs it was sparse, as I recall. And there were several rooms in that basement at Chilhowie that we didn't even use. They were like extra bedrooms or whatever. And one, I think it was too cold down there in the wintertime. Don't you think?
Well,
Was there a fireplace down? I
yeah,
know.
there was a fireplace,
And a
but
fireplace
we didn't
up.
use it. Yeah, but we didn't use
Yeah.
fireplaces.
Yeah. So you wanted to talk about that Christmas?
Well, I'll come back to them. So, so did you have any favorite Christmas ornaments, like the ones that we talked about, or any that are special to you? Any of the old ornaments?
The old ornaments. You know, I haven't been in the box for so long. I don't know.
We got 'em.
I've got some, I know, and I know I've got ornaments that you and Val sold for a band.
Okay.
The little ornaments.
Yeah.
I've got those,
Yeah.
you know, but as far as special ones, I can't offhand because I have not been in. You know, one year I said something to Daddy about you know, putting up a tree with all the old ornaments on it that we had, and then the glass balls and you know and so on. But we didn't do it. Where we were, but we had so much other stuff we didn't have any place to put it anyway.
What I remember was as a kid, my favorite light for a Christmas tree, because you'd put up a strand of lights, and every so often you'd find a special place, you'd unscrew the bulb, and you put in one of those bubbler lights. Have you ever seen those?
The blinker lights, you mean?
No, bubbles.
Bubbler.
They bubble.
They had a liquid in it, and the bulb below it would heat it up, and it would boil or bubble.
So was it like the like the ones in the 70s?
It's shaped like a candle,
Like a candle.
about that tall.
Okay.
Okay. And you had the bottom piece was like an upside down bell. That's where the heater was.
Okay.
But if one of those things got broken, it was a mess. Okay. But they were so attractive to see that little bubbling effect go on. Lit up.
I remember Dad having them on the tree.
Yeah.
The year we were married, or the year after. You know.
So you had a lot of those on, or you just have like one on the tree?
Oh, no,
It was
no.
like a strand.
Yeah. Well, what you would do is place those things. You'd have your lights on, and then you'd find a place where I want that. So you take your strand, unscrew one of the bulbs, and replace it. Okay, and put it in there. And then whenever Christmas was over, you take those back out and put them back in that special box they came in because it protected them. Okay, but you can't find this anymore.
I was gonna say,
I don't know.
Everything's LED now.
yeah, everything.
So they're called bubble lights. So if you ever see them, you'll know bubble.
And then there was that, and then what was the other thing I was going to mention to you? Oh, ornaments. We had a number of silver bells that would tinkle. I remember that.
You guys or us?
No, family.
Us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know if you were talking when you were a kid.
No. There was one on the tree.
Silver bells.
They were inexpensive. They were maybe that tall, maybe that big around at the bottom, and you'd hang them on a hook. They didn't light up or anything. And that and the ornaments that I liked best were not the round balls, but the glass ornaments that came down to a point like a
Oh
teardrop.
yeah, I remember those.
Oh man, those things are beautiful. You know, they just look really good on a tree.
It's like I hate when I go to the Christmas stores now and they're like plastic,
Oh no,
and I'm like, oh, those look so cheap. You know, it's
they
like,
do. But you can drop them on the floor. The cat can get up in the tree and not break glass all over the place.
Have you, John, gone to the Morgan house
Yes.
at Christmas time?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know if
Yeah,
you.
they got nice stuff in there.
Yeah, they got some really neat things for Christmas.
Yeah, there's another new place that's actually kind of right by the Morgan house, across the street. You know where the Wendy's is?
Mm-hmm.
There's a new shop in there too, a new Christmas store.
Bakers.
Huh?
Bakers? No.
Oh no, it's right on the
No,
corner.
Baker's around the
Yeah,
corner.
this is a new place right there.
Oh, okay.
So something to go check out when you're over there.
Yeah. Well,
So-
we were talking about that the other day. We got to get our calendar
Yeah.
organized.
So, Dad, did you put Christmas lights outside the house in Virginia at all? I don't remember.
that.
I don't remember.
I remember one time in Marion,
Mm-hmm.
we had pillars on the front porch,
Wrapped them maybe.
and you wrapped,
Uh-huh.
them, and then one year we just used red ribbon because the pillars were white.
Yes, I remember the red
Mm-hmm.
Where was that?
On
Bridgeport?
No, in Marion.
in Marion
Oh, okay.
on the pillars. I remember
front
that.
porch.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that until you said that.
Looked like candy cane.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, what day did we typically put up the Christmas tree?
Well, it was after Thanksgiving for
Yeah,
sure.
Usually first of December.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, do we have a set day like we
No.
said?
Oh,
No,
Day
no.
after Thanksgiving. You know how some
No,
people
no.
do that.
No, it was just, because, well, it depended on the calendar, number one, but it depended on Daddy's work, number two,
Mhm.
because he was traveling, when he traveled so
Yeah.
much, when you were little, clear till we moved to Virginia. And then it was, well, we'll put it up 2 weeks before,
Uh-huh.
And again, I said, it's pretty close to birthday again, you know.
And then when did we put the Christmas tree? Take it down.
Right after New Year's,
Okay.
usually the second.
Yeah, so the bowl games were on, and then
Yeah, ball games were
Okay.
over, and then you took the tree down.
okay. Let's see.
And we sit there and fuss with people that kept them up till the 1st of February. I said, good Lord, people, get over it.
Well, speaking of trees, okay, I always remember us having the colored lights and icicles that we talked about and a real tree. When did we convert to an artificial? I was trying to think when did that happen? Was that in
Probably
Lisa Marie,
Lisa
or was it
Marie,
after that?
Somewhere around
I'm
Lisa
thinking
Marie.
Lisa Marie.
So I remember it had the colored pegs. You remember the metal went down into the,
The orange
and
and
then we had to fluff it out.
yeah, yeah.
So, yeah. Another thing I think about when we were in Marion and so forth, I remember, and you see them, you don't see them much anymore, are kind of those tacky looking lights that you put in the windows. You remember the little
Candles?
white light, candle lights?
Candlelights, yeah.
You don't see those hardly at all anymore, like,
I used to see them a lot when we lived in Old Turtle.
really?
Yes, there were a lot of them in our circle there.
Uh-huh.
A lot of them. The ones where you used to have, maybe a block of 3,
Mm-hmm.
or a block of 5 even.
Yeah.
And I remember I had like 2 or 3 of those, but
Yeah.
I think I've probably thrown them away.
Probably.
Yeah, because I haven't seen those. Now it seems like people have lit wreaths out on their house, and they light up their house with color, and they
Mm-hmm.
project things onto their
Spotlights.
house.
Yeah.
And
I think that the prettiest is when you see a really pretty front door,
mhm.
or the entranceway is lit and really pretty,
Mhm.
and you put a spotlight on it. I like that.
Yeah, I like that look too. So, okay, Dad, you talked about it. So, tell me, how did Teresa knock over the Christmas tree? What do you guys remember how that went down?
We had a big party. It was a pre-Christmas party. I had the whole agency over. Anybody that wanted to come, and most of them did.
Mm-hmm.
We had a big basement down there. I don't know if you remember that or not.
Yeah, the tile floor.
Yeah.
I remember a Halloween party down there more than Christmas.
And I don't remember Halloween party there. I remember definitely one down in the basement in Marion.
No, I remember that one too.
Okay, all right. But had the whole agency over, and Was that the time nobody knew that Gus was my father-in-law?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think that's when it got exposed at that particular party.
Oh, because Gus was working there then?
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte knew,
Okay.
but she was the only one.
She didn't know for a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the thing I remember down in the basement, what we got that year were sleds. Because I can still picture them against that wall.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I picture them standing up on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's funny.
We were up on the hill. You had a great place to
Mhm.
sled ride. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, so back to
So anyway,
so Gus got exposed. In what way? How
I
would
think
we
when-
call him Grandpa Gus or
I
something?
think when Charlotte found out, you had mentioned Grandpa
Grandpa
Gus,
Gus.
when we were leaving Bassett's or something like that,
Uh huh.
you know, and
Were you like, oh,
I just kind of, you know, one of those deals. But
yeah, because it wasn't even Grandpa; it was Grandpa Gus.
yeah,
So the name would have come out.
yeah, and the thing of it was, I didn't want folks to think I was giving him special treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I don't remember what
because
the
Daddy would go up and field train him too, you know.
yeah. There was something going on in Fairmont that he wasn't working, and he really needed a job, and I could give him a base salary. And I thought, yeah, he sold stuff all his life. I don't know why he can't do insurance, but he had a hard time with the math of it, trying to explain that to the customer. Never did do very well. He didn't like prospecting the way that you had to do.
Mhm.
But he worked at it for a while, you know, and made a few sales. And I'd send Terry up. Terry Dennison was beginning to do some field training. So I'd send Terry up to sell some policies for him. And I went up several times, stayed at the Red Lion Inn in Blacksburg.
Mm-hmm.
So we expose him at the party.
I'm not sure.
No, I think that's when you exposed him just to Charlotte, I think, at Bassett's. But at the party, you didn't. It wasn't.
But anyway, Teresa was drinking pretty heavy. Gus was drinking. Everybody was drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean a lot. You know, we must have gone through a case of liquor.
A lot different back then.
Yeah, you could get away with stuff like that. In fact, the home office kind of encouraged it. Have a party for your guys. You know.
So you could expense it and all.
I think I probably did. Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
But at that time, also, Grandpa Gus and Teresa weren't getting along. And a lot of that, too, I think, is because Grandpa Gus was also see Carol at the same time.
Oh.
And
Yeah, that's usually kind of rough on relationships.
Yeah, and I think he was kind of bringing one down for 1 week and another one down for another week. You know what I mean?
He
When
was
he was
more
out there.
interested in his love life than he was selling insurance.
Uh-huh.
I think.
Yeah. So I think, and Teresa probably knew at that time, and that's probably why she was drinking.
Okay, so at the
Maybe
party.
A little more.
So this was at the company Christmas party.
Mhm.
Yeah, at the house.
So was this Christmas Eve or?
No, probably the week before.
Week
or
before,
something.
it wouldn't.
Okay.
We wouldn't have done it on Christmas Eve. I
No.
mean, you mess up your Christmas too.
Okay.
But we had especially decorated that tree, and put it was a pretty good sized tree too, and had glass ornaments on it. Okay.
Yeah.
They were not plastic, and I remember that she was kind of staggering down the steps.
Mhm.
Okay, and came over and lost her balance.
People were still there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Well, we were going strong.
Mm-hmm.
We were going strong. This was
Where were Val and I?
You were there.
probably up
Were
on
we
the steps
asleep?
looking down.
I don't think you were asleep.
No, you knew we were carrying on
Okay.
downstairs. But we told you, you just can't come down. You know, you have to stay. You have to stay in your room. Oh, you know.
And sometimes you did.
Yeah.
You know, I know you went to the party with us.
Yeah.
You know, and all that, because we had the party over at like a steakhouse or Holiday Inn or
We
somewhere
can keep stuff away
Okay.
from
where
you.
we had a dinner or something. Then we went to the house. You know?
Okay.
And so she came staggering in
Fell
from the
right into that
hallway,
tree.
and she just lost her balance, and she fell backwards into the tree.
She went back.
Mm-hmm.
And the tree went over. I mean, completely. It wasn't like she just fell into the tree. The whole damn thing toppled.
Were people laughing, hysterical?
Laughing and then scared at the
Yeah,
same
scared
time.
that somebody got hurt. You
But
know.
she didn't get hurt?
No.
She get cut up at all?
No. No. And her
Amazing.
shoes fell off of her. You know, I was worried about her just getting
Did her
up.
dress,
She had
did
a long
it rip her
dress.
clothes or anything?
No, but she had a long dress on. Most of us had long dresses on.
Was she horrified?
To a point, I
No,
think.
she was drunk.
But she was drunk.
The party kept going.
It kept going.
Oh yeah, it was
We picked the
early.
tree up as best we could, and I think we did unplug it because we didn't know, lights and stuff.
It
And,
didn't matter.
but we did unplug
Party
the
on,
tree.
man.
I'm pretty
So-
sure until the week.
But she kept partying and
I remember it was so crazy. I remember Nancy was crawling up the steps
Yeah, I remember Nancy
She
crawling up
couldn't
the steps.
walk.
She was so drunk.
on her hands and knees crawling up the steps.
really.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Now, were you drinking then too, or
No,
being the hostess, you were probably?
I wasn't drinking.
What about you? Were you pretty toasted?
I mean, I wasn't insane, that's for sure.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I'm sharing a drink with everybody, going around. But hosting.
Did Gus get mad when she fell into the tree? I
think
could see
he
him
did.
being embarrassed.
He got a little upset. I think he was upset, but I don't think I think he held it. I think he could have gotten a whole lot
Yeah.
madder. Yeah.
Because I could see him getting mad over something like that, like
Oh,
you
yeah.
embarrassed me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's his wife.
But it was a party. That's
so
for
we had a
sure.
lot of Christmas parties as kids. I remember that, and I always remember always having people over. I remember your cheese ball, the weenies, the meatballs, the punch,
That was all on Lisa Marie.
and the ring, and the eggnog. Speaking of which, when was the last time you had eggnog?
Last year.
Yeah.
We have eggnog every year.
Oh,
Do,
yeah.
do you liquor it up too?
Sometimes,
course.
yeah. Sometimes Daddy will just drink a glass of it all by itself
Okay.
without anything in it.
Well, that's what you think.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay.
We better get some too.
Yeah.
So in Virginia and Marion, I think is when this first started. I could be wrong. But I think that's when the Christmas game first started. With the clues. Okay?
Well, there, but it may have been in Omaha too. I can't remember. But it was always designed to lead you from one gift to another, or from one clue to another.
Right, to the big gift.
To the big gift, yeah.
So I don't remember it in Omaha that would have had to have been the organ, I would assume. But I remember coming downstairs and that was the first thing we saw was the organ. So
Yeah, that probably
so it wouldn't have worked.
probably not till Columbus.
So no.
Was it in Marion?
It was Marion.
Yeah.
And the reason
Air
I remember that, yes.
Oh, it was air hockey. That's right in Palm.
No, it was running to the air hockey table.
You ran right by it.
Ran right by it. Do you remember that part? Because you would have been, I think you were at the bottom of the steps.
I remember you ran right by it.
Right by it, because didn't you have us go back to the garage door?
I'm sure we
Because I
did.
remember you came down the steps
Yeah.
and you hung a left, right? Because Dad's section, which he never finished,
Yeah.
that was in the 2x4s, was
Right.
to the
right.
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 Right? And then the table was right there. And I remember going right by it.
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember what your reaction was?
I think I was shocked that you didn't do anything.
Did Val see it, or did we both go around?
You both went just past it. Just went past
We
it.
must have had a clue back in the back or something.
Yeah, well, I thought you had it like at the
But I
at
don't
the, at the
know where
car or something. and
Yeah,
we-
there was. Where was that last clue supposed to be?
it had to have been taped to the door or something.
Yeah.
You know, because for us to go by it would have taken us to the back.
Right. Right. Taking you back to the thing.
No, was that when I was parking the Jaguar in the back? Because
Yeah.
it was a two-stall
Yes.
garage, but
Right.
they ran front to back.
Right.
Right.
Not side by side.
Was it a 2 or was it a 4?
I think
What?
it was a 3.
Yeah, I thought it was a 3 or a 4 because I thought you had 2 side by side and then one deep one. It was just one door
Otherwise,
One
yeah,
door.
it was one single door.
One single door.
and then
And it's
2
straight
deep.
back. 3 deep you could go.
3 deep?
Almost 3 deep because you had the jag in there. You had the company
Pontiac,
car
yeah.
and my car, the Buick.
You had all three in there?
At one time, yeah.
I don't remember that, but okay.
Yeah.
You say so.
Well, if it
Yeah.
would have had to gone the whole length of the house.
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
So, which made sense because the Jag you kept at the very back.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I know it was a pain in the neck shuffling cars all the time.
yeah, so
Yeah.
talking about the air hockey table, right? Well, back to the game. How'd you come up with that? Had you seen that before? Had someone done that to you as a kid?
Mm-mm.
I don't know if anybody did it with me.
Was
as
it just like a
kid.
scavenger
So,
hunt?
maybe.
No, I thought we were just being ornery. Let's
Yeah.
play a game with the kids and see if they like it. You know.
Because I love that game, and we still do it. I've done it with, with the girls. We used to do that, and Val's does it with hers, and it's just been wonderful,
Mm-hmm.
And what a way to build up to that.
Special gift.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so with the air hockey table, obviously you had the escapade with the organ. How the hell did you pull off the air hockey table?
We had it there for a couple of days, and I'm thinking it was under a tarp, or
It had to be covered.
we were hiding it back in the back or something.
Yeah, we had.
And we
to
had
hide
to walk it back out to where you could play with it.
Yeah.
Was it on wheels or?
No,
No, it
No.
had legs.
it
but-
had adjustable feet.
Yeah.
Because I remember that, because in case your floor was a little crooked,
Right.
you could just get under there.
Yeah, I
and tighten
remember
it up. Yeah.
What happened to that? Did we leave it at Lisa Marie?
We sold it at a garage sale, didn't we? At
Probably.
Place
I don't
Curry?
know.
I think when we bought the house, when we were
When we
building
went
the
to-
house,
When we went to
Turtle,
Little Turtle?
I think.
Just sold it.
I think that's when we sold it. We had a garage sale. Daddy
Okay.
sold a bunch of stuff. And
Wish I'd have kept the palm that.
Yeah.
That's probably
Well,
worth some money today.
So that's the next thing. I remember that's when we got the first video game, Palm, was in Marion. I can still remember sitting at the TV and
So-
being sitting on the floor. Doot, 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 doot,
We connect that.
That had to have been so annoying to hear that.
And I wasn't into that kind of stuff, that game stuff. I wasn't into
Well,
that.
the old trick with palm was putting English on it.
Well, no,
You'd spin it, just about the time it hit. You'd want to slide it, which would cause it
no,
to...
it didn't really cause it because it just caused it to ricochet.
Yeah.
Different.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and you could switch it, the graphics, right? One time the whole idea was to hit the little bar, and then you'd flip it, and the next game was to get it in the hole. All they did was reverse the graphic, and it would disappear into the opening. So, funny just what you remember, that game. And to think that, compared to what the kids have today, So,
Wow.
Assassin's Creed.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So in Virginia, I remember the Advent calendars. We had those. It was the red loop at the top, and we had words written on it. I don't remember what it said. Was the night before Christmas? That was typed. There was text that was typed at the top.
On the
Yeah, on the center section,
yeah.
and then you had the long
Long thing
green,
went down.
and you had little red
Red.
bows.
Yeah, a little red yarn thing.
Yes.
Tied candy.
Tied a piece of candy.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd those come from?
Nami.
Not. Did she make them?
Or I don't think she
Did she
made
buy them at a?
probably bought it at
craft
a craft
fair?
store or something. Or yeah,
So did those stay at Nami's or did they stay with us?
they stayed with you.
Because I remember taking the candy off of them,
Mm-hmm.
and you'd tie like Tootsie Rolls or
Mm-hmm. Penny candy.
yeah,
Yeah.
like little hardtack candy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, just little pieces.
any
Red.
idea where those are at? Do you still have those?
I don't know if I still have them or not.
We have a box that's sealed up downstairs that has old Christmas ornaments.
Then
It
I don't
may
know.
be in there, but I doubt it.
I don't know. I don't.
Well, that might be fun to go through that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
So I remember making the Christmas ornaments that we talked about for Scouts. You said you still have those.
I have that. I know I have the one with the green.
The green felt.
Uh-huh.
Are there any others that you
I
can
don't
think
know.
of?
I don't know.
I was gonna say, I can't remember one. I remember I made one. I have it somewhere at home where it was an outline of my foot.
Okay.
You know why? I don't remember.
I don't remember that.
It had to have been a Scout thing too.
Okay.
So just something I remember. So yeah, other thing I remember in Marion, I remember Val and I finding the gifts in the trunk of the Jag.
Okay.
Unwrapped gifts.
Okay.
You know, and I remember it was awful. You know, because yeah, we had been snooping. You know, but never expected to see unwrapped gifts. You know what I mean? And I remember us having to fake it. You know, like we were like, you know, her and I remember us both.
What'd you do? Go through the whole trunk and look at
No,
stuff?
but we saw the whole gifts.
Where I was hiding them.
Yes. And we never did it again after that because
You never looked again.
we never, no.
It ruined
'cause-
Christmas for you, the surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it did. It ruined it for us, you know, for certain gifts. Not all the gifts, you know.
Do you remember anything that was there?
No, I don't remember them now, but I remember at the
You knew
time,
that was yours.
like a game or, you know, or just, so I didn't see like Pong or, you know, but I just remember,
Where was that, in Marion?
yeah, it was the way the Jag was in the back. And I don't even remember how or why, you know, but I think opened it and then saw it and then closed it. And then I remember Val and I looked. And I remember that just ruined it for us. So, of course, I did like seeing the wrapped gifts that were under the spare bed in Columbus. But Mom always had those wrapped.
There you go. I did my best.
You know, a memory I have, and you talked about it earlier a little bit, when you said, what do you remember about the organ? And I can remember Val playing Christmas carols on the organ. Do you remember that? And I remember the chords would light up, you know, and you could just...
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
just some funny stuff.
Yeah. It was fun. It was fun.
The other thing I remember in Marion, and I thought about this just as I was typing it, and I don't know why it came. I remember you had, it had to have been an album, it wouldn't have been a CD. You had Jose Feliciano, Feliz Navidad. And I remember Val and I running around saying, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad. Isn't that funny? Why that memory? But I just remember that, and it was in the living room where the organ was in there, you know, towards the front of the house. So
What was the brand of the organ?
I don't think it was a Hammond. I don't remember.
It wasn't Hammond. It wasn't Wurlitzer.
I don't remember.
I don't think they make them anymore.
What happened to the organ?
I gave that to my mother.
You did? Oh,
She got a lot of joy out of that.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
She played that? How'd you get it there?
I don't remember
May
now.
have been Gary.
What was I gonna say?
May have been Gary when he came up, maybe, and I took it down, or
Had
had
to.
him take it down to her.
But she played it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Did we have the organ up on Lisa Marie?
Yes.
You're sure?
Yeah, we had it in there. Yes, we did.
Where?
I remember Val playing it in there.
Okay.
I thought it was like in between the windows, because on the one wall was the stereo cabinet.
Yeah, because we wouldn't have gotten rid of it that quickly, because we had just gotten it in Marion.
Yeah.
So and then from
Oh,
Marion,
we were talking 70s. Yeah,
Yeah.
Omaha.
we got it in Omaha. So we carried it to Chilhowie,
Yeah,
and then Marion
that's
probably
only
brought
5 years.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have got rid of it that
Yeah.
soon.
Probably been. Yeah, it was probably
What's
when
that?
we moved
What's
to
the
Gold.
No.
brand of that?
I know where it was. So when you came in the front door, you turned left. You had it right to the right there. So it would have
In the
been
living
against
room.
the steps,
In the living room.
and then
Yeah,
the,
that's right.
the cabinet went against the back wall, like closer to the Springer's house. It was over there. And then at Christmas, we moved it and put the stereo over on the wall against the steps. And then we moved the keyboard between the windows.
Okay. In the
Because I
living-
can picture Val and I playing there. So,
Why is that not coming to me?
And that's why Gary would have taken it then, because that's when he come and got the freezer and tire and wheels and, yeah.
what, when you were getting ready to move?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, I gave him I had a couple of spare tires for the Supra, and he was putting
Wheels.
together a hot rod. Yeah,
Wheels.
tires and wheels.
mhm,
Okay, they were pretty hot looking wheels for the time,
okay.
and he was putting together a hot rod, some old Plymouth or something that he was, he was going to put on, and he thought those wheels looked really cool in that car. I said, man, take them,
So do you remember, I also remember this from Virginia. Do you remember when we started getting you chocolate covered cherries? Speaking of which. Do you remember when that started?
I don't.
No, I don't.
I'm trying to even remember how it came about.
I know I liked them, and I know I've mentioned that
Mhm.
I liked them to you, and I don't know if you're the first one that bought me,
Mhm.
or if it was Valerie. I do not
Mhm.
remember.
It would be a kid thing that's relatively inexpensive,
Yeah, because
and you want to get something special for your mom.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's got to be what
That
it
you could
is.
get at the grocery store
Yeah.
or the drugstore.
yeah, because you get them back then for like 88 cents or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
for a box, and so and Grandma liked them. Mom
Uh-huh.
Merrifield liked them, chocolate covered cherries, and I did too. And she would always share her with
I
just
think
me.
they were too sweet.
She would
Mhm.
always share hers with me until
One's about all
Yeah.
I can do.
till Bear got hold of Mom's and ate the whole box.
The dog?
Mm-hmm.
What was Bear? What kind of dog?
Oh, he was a
Big
big,
dog.
Huge.
looked like an Irish setter. He had long hair and he was a big black dog. Anyway, he was a good dog. I liked him. But anyway, he liked me too. But anyway, Gary really was worried about it when he ate that whole box of cherries, chocolate. But I think it was when we were probably in Lisa Marie, is what I'm thinking.
Okay, so I'm still talking, obviously, Virginia. Did we get Scarlet for Christmas?
Not at Christmas.
How did Scarlet come about?
Well, we just got her.
I think you guys wanted a dog,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
and I don't know whether it was Charlotte or Nancy or somebody knew somebody that had a setter, but
Uh-huh.
it seems to me like it came out of Tennessee.
Yeah. 'Cause
We had to drive down
towards
to
Bristol.
get it.
Oh, what a cute dog that was.
Down to Bristol.
Well, it was a puppy, when we got it. Then she got big.
Mm-hmm.
What
She
a piece
loved
of
you.
work. Oh, what a piece of work.
I still picture her chewing up those books on the presidents.
Yeah.
Oh, that made me mad. She knew it too.
Yeah.
I'll get his ass.
So, only since I'm talking Virginia again, how bad were those first band Christmas concerts that you went to? Were they horrible?
I don't think so. I was kind of proud of you guys. I thought, hey, this is cool. You're still learning. Yeah, a little note was off.
When
a
you hear
little
the
bit there.
squeaks and
yeah, sure. What was the first concert you remember playing in?
I really don't remember band concerts in Virginia.
I remember one at school with violins.
In Virginia?
No,
That
not
would be
Virginia.
the worst.
It was over towards Devonshire, over in that area. School. I think it was the first grade school you went to, besides.
Up here? Well, that would have been. Oh, it would have been across the street. That would have been Valley Forge.
Valley Forge.
Yeah.
And yeah. And
So
you
that would have been 5th grade before
Yeah.
Northgate, so it was the end of 5th grade year.
And I remember that one.
What, bad?
With you.
Screeching violins.
And the violins. Not that you were squeaking or anything,
Yeah.
but I mean, it was just the.
That'll set your nerves on that.
Yeah, you know, you shiver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there anything else that you remember from Christmases in Virginia?
I just think they were pretty. You know,
Just the weather?
the weather was pretty, and you know.
I
You
can't
get a little
imagine
snow,
going
but-
up that. I can't imagine going up that hill at Christmas time from the bottom.
Yeah.
Because we were up near the top. That had to have been slick as all get out trying to get up there.
Well,
Did you have
we
chains on your tires back then?
Studs.
Okay.
Metal studs.
we only had to come up so far and pull in the driveway from.
Yeah, it was
there to
only like
Marion.
maybe 50 yards.
In Marion.
Oh, is that it?
Mhm.
Yeah, in Marion. It wasn't too far.
It seemed
from
like it was
Main
farther
Drive.
up
There
the
was a
hill.
house on
Well,
the
you were
corner.
little.
The main drag, you'd turn right.
Uh-huh.
There was a house on the corner, and then there was a little lawn that went between them, and then there was a level spot where our driveway was, and then inside had the
And then
basketball.
then you still kept going up further up to
Yeah,
the
if
next
you wanted
street.
to go on
To
up to the
the
next.
next street, that
Yeah.
that got a little
Where you
hairy.
caught the bus. Yeah.
Yeah.
But because whenever you came off the main drag, it went downhill just a little bit. You could gun it, okay, and you could almost coast up to my driveway.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't a big deal.
So anything else you remember, or is that pretty much Virginia?
I'm trying to think. We do anything at the office for Christmas? We must have.
We just had the normal Christmas parties, you know.
Well, the Christmas party was our house, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The office.
Yeah. But I don't recall anything else.
But I think the girls decorated a little bit.
The office girls?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
I'm sure they did. Put a tree up and stuff.
How long were we in Marion? 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not long.
Uh-uh.
We weren't anywhere long until we got to Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like every year we're hitting a different school. So
Yeah.
so let's get to we'll get to Ohio. So that's when Val and I started figuring out how to start Christmas early. You're making the coffee. I remember because you guys would shut us down. You guys ready? Ready? Oh, we haven't got our coffee yet. Go get us some coffee. Okay, back down we go get the coffee. Brilliant over here, figured that one out. I'm like,
Yeah.
gotta make the coffee. And then Val and I would start making the coffee and bringing it up to you.
Without.
Yeah,
Yeah. Before you
coffee and
got
cigarette. I remember, we're like, there you go.
Coffee and cigarette. Yeah, there you go, Mom. Yeah. But you woke Valerie up, right?
So usually how it would be, I would get up, I'd go down the steps, I'd peek in, look around, then I would go up the steps, and then she got the typical John wake up.
Jumping on bed.
Val, get up, Santa Claus has been there, Santa Claus has been there. Same thing, and I'd lay out and whoop, right onto the bed. Let me tell you, she couldn't get that down in the Hocking Hills, too.
Uh-oh. It's not Christmas, though.
It's close enough. Poor Jeff.
Oh, dear. Just watch your arm.
Yeah. So obviously we always got gifts addressed from Santa. Is that how you came to love the magic of Christmas?
Maybe.
I mean, did your parents do that for you guys? Were gifts from Santa?
Oh,
when you were
Yeah,
little?
yeah. They were from Santa.
Everything was from Santa.
Yeah. You never said when you found out that there wasn't a Santa Claus.
Wait, there's what? There's not?
Yeah, I mean, people said there wasn't, but I
Believe
never
'em.
said anything to my mom and dad about it, or to my brothers. No way.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you don't believe, then you're not going to get anything.
Christmas. It was the best.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta believe.
I mean, that's what I always think of is your handwriting on both of you guys. The handwriting from Santa on the gifts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I remember one year, and I don't remember, but I know we were all out there when we went Christmas caroling in Columbus.
In Columbus.
Do you remember that?
Yes. I remember going Christmas caroling in
Was that
Columbus.
when we put the bags and the candles out?
Well, I got that coming up too,
Mm-hmm.
but who would have coordinated that? Would that
Probably
have,
Mrs. Springer.
you think so?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And I remember it was maybe 8 of us. 10?
I remember Joe and Pat.
Oh, they went?
Uh-huh. Across the street.
Kelly?
Kelly, yeah, and
Uh-huh.
Springers. I don't know if that was Joyce and Phil then that were there. Probably. They could have gone with us. I don't know.
Or would that have been the Texas Cup? What was the people before Joyce?
I don't remember. What's her name? Kendra.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What was his name?
Dan?
I can't
No,
remember.
wasn't Dan.
Kendra and I can't remember.
Why do I think it was Dan and Kendra?
I don't know.
It wasn't Bill, was it?
But it was just people
Yeah.
on the street, basically.
Yeah.
You know,
And I remember us walking down the street.
walking down Lisa Marie and back. Uh-huh.
I don't remember. Did we go around the block?
I think we went into the court where the
The Munzers?
Munzers with the Corvette. I remember going in there. And,
Or you think the Springers were there too?
Yeah.
Huh. I'll have to ask.
See if they remember any of
Yeah.
that.
Because I remembered us all doing it.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
So that was my question. Do you remember who all we went with?
And I don't remember anything as far as did we stop and have hot chocolate afterwards with either at my house or Mrs. Springer's house or something. I don't remember any of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't, but I remember us doing it.
And I was going to say, do you remember us out there putting out the luminaries
Mm-hmm.
and then we drive around and look at that? And if you remember at first, they were the lunch bags,
Mm-hmm.
the little brown lunch bag, and you'd roll them
Put a
over.
candle in them.
Mm-hmm.
They
Right.
burn.
And then they caught on fire,
Yeah.
and then they changed it to the milk jugs.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and man, you don't see anybody do something like that.
They did that down in South Carolina.
Oh, they did down there?
Yeah, when we moved down there, I remember on Williamsburg. I remember us.
Really?
doing it. Uh-huh.
So when would that have been, in the 90s?
Oh, 90s. Uh-huh.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I hadn't seen many people do that.
And
I
it
was
was
just
good
looking
for
on. I
milk.
was looking online at one of the shopping places, and they had LED luminaries.
Huh.
I'm thinking that's pretty cool because the bag's not going to burn.
Yeah?
Yeah, but
You
but we put out the milk jugs.
Yeah.
You know, because I remember Yvonne.
Well, you had to
You know?
accumulate them first.
Yeah, we had to accumulate
Yeah.
them. You know, but but that was no big deal because we always had to have them for water when we lived on Mount Pleasant anyway. 'Cause
Right.
we had to go reverse osmosis with the water
I
things.
forgot all about that.
Yeah.
See, and what I remember about the luminaries wasn't our yard. Ours wasn't so bad. I remember helping Mr. Springer and
Yeah.
Todd
Yeah,
because they had to go around and then loop all the way down
Yeah,
the backyard. They had the big lot.
yeah, yeah. And Joe
'Cause
did too.
Yeah.
Across the street.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
oh gosh. And then other things I remember at Christmas. This might come back to you, Dad. Selling wreaths and garland in the band. You remember delivering the wreaths and the garland and getting all that stuff?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and do you remember delivering stuff like the ornaments and the cheese and sausage?
Cheese and sausage, not the ornaments. I don't
You remember the little ornaments? You said you remembered it when I said that.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't remember them? And I sold a ton
You
of
and
them.
Val both did.
I remember because we went out because we'd always we led every one of those
Yeah,
things.
The bike
You know,
thing and
probably I don't know. I guess that's
It was
probably
a
one of those
personal thing.
competition.
My
Yeah.
team
So-
always
Yeah.
So, when we got to Lisa Marie, and I don't remember this, but I thought you would remember. Did we open gifts one person at a time, or everyone at once? Like, did we pull them all together like we do now, or was it just a free for all? I just remember Val and I sitting on the floor.
I thought that you guys got down in and just grabbed packages and passed them out, and then we'd open them. Then you'd pass another package.
Yeah, it wasn't like how Val and
No, they do it too organized. It's anal.
But did we go one at a time though?
I'm thinking, yeah.
Lots of times, it depends, but we'd say, you kids go ahead and do yours, and Daddy and I'll open ours. We try to open the things that you got us,
Mm-hmm.
First, not the things that we got each other.
Yeah.
Or Santa brought.
Yeah.
But, but we were more interested in watching you guys open, and which I still am.
Yeah.
I want to watch everybody else open their presents.
Well, earlier today, I was trying to think of memorable gifts from Lisa Marie. Okay? So, and these are a couple that I came up with. And I thought about the Christmas game again, except this time, what we had back in the back bedroom, okay, we had the stereo, Val's Marantz stereo,
Yeah. I remember
okay, and the guitar and the amp.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember that was the Christmas game that year.
Mm-hmm.
Then I remember the roller skates. You had the tennis shoe roller skates.
Yeah. Bought those down at the at the
At
skating
USA North.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember that. I remember the bowling balls. Remember when we all got bowling balls?
I remember that.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Then I remember band jackets. Getting that for Christmas. Both Val got hers and then I got mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, are there any others that you can think of? Any memorable gifts from...
At
I know it's hard. To
at
come-
Lisa Marie, you guys were past the toy stage,
Right.
so it was more grown-up stuff. Valerie already had her phone for Marion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that was not for Christmas. That was for achieving something.
It was getting the hit, the baseball hit.
That's it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She and I were talking about that.
Do you remember getting a phone?
I remember getting a phone on Lisa Marie, but I don't remember for any event. It was just a regular pickup phone.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like Val's or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to think of anything memorable, like, because I didn't have a stereo. I remember a boom box, and I remember getting like a '70s boom box.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, I think that was Val's. Val got the boom box. Then I ended up, because she used it for the majorette tapes, right, to play outside.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, why can't I think of stuff?
Mm-hmm. I think it was because it was mostly
Clothes. We got into
Yeah.
clothes.
Did you get any Peaches albums? for
Oh, I'm sure I
Christmas?
got albums and stuff, but
But
obviously-
basketball, tennis racket,
yeah,
majorette stuff.
a new football and
New gym shoes.
yeah,
Stuff that you needed.
yeah, because you're past toys, like you
'cause
said.
you're not into toys and games and so much that. And I think your guitar, probably an amp, was probably your last really toy,
Mm-hmm.
that you had.
Or like I said, roller skates or
Yeah,
bowling
Because
ball.
that was all about that same
Yeah, 9th,
age.
10th grade.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
Yeah.
after that you're kind of done.
yeah,
So
that's right.
Do we do any musical instruments, sax or clarinet or
Well, he
anything?
got his
I
sax.
had that
For
earlier.
Christmas.
He got that.
Yeah, in
got
5th
that.
grade.
5th grade.
So
And I remember Nami and Bud coming up for Christmas that one year at Lisa Marie, and that's when the hostages were released. And
the Iranian.
Iran.
Okay.
And they had a thing on TV, everybody go out at midnight or something,
Bang pots and pans?
well, they didn't, but moment of silence, that kind of thing. And I remember Bud and going out and Nami, and it was so cold, it was bitter.
We stood out there for,
It was
I don't know
bitter.
whether it was based on the number of hostages,
Yeah, it was so many
or maybe it
minutes
was
or
so many seconds. Okay, it's
But it was
350 something. Yeah, it was cold.
It was so cold. But I remember the luminaries were out, too.
Okay.
But it was so pretty.
I don't remember that
It
at
was
all.
so pretty. And I remember getting them an ornament, and it was their first year at our house spending Christmas.
So what year would that have been?
Well, it had to have been 70, after 77.
You have to figure out when they first got married.
I know they got married. I mean, but it was at our house, their first year at our house. And I got them an ornament
Right.
to put on the tree. And then I gave it to Naomi when they left. And but I remember getting Bud the fly swatter. Remember getting him this
Yeah.
big fly swatter?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Because he always had the fly swatter at home up on the fridge.
Right? Remember that?
Oh my
that
gosh.
thing
But
was
then
that
you got
big?
the big giant one. Oh my gosh. I totally forgot that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He was so tickled with that. And he used it too.
How did he pass away? I'm
Huh?
trying to remember. How did he die?
He died in the hospital at the VA in Clarksburg.
But how or what from?
Well, he had a heart condition,
Okay.
and
You have cirrhosis?
he had. I'm thinking he had some cirrhosis probably because he drank so
Yeah.
much, But he had come home. He had come home for the weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and even Mom. That's when my mom was up there with him,
Okay.
and they went to take him back to the thing because he said, "I think I better go back to leave early because his feet were swelling so bad."
Okay, so he went back to the hospital?
So they took him back to Clarksburg. He and Nami and Mom drove him back to Clarksburg, and they no sooner got home, got in the house, and the hospital called and said he had passed.
Really? He was young too, wasn't he?
Well, what was he, 84?
Oh, he was.
No, he died in 84.
Oh, yeah.
And he was born, what, 20,
He's
21?
65 maybe. If that
21, 22?
Yeah, I thought he was like 62.
could have been.
He wasn't
I
very-
mean, yeah, like I said, he was young.
Yeah, he was young.
But he looked old because he worked hard.
And he did work hard, John.
Yeah.
He did work hard,
Okay.
And I think he had a good heart. He
Yeah.
did have a good heart.
Do you remember any special gifts that you guys exchanged back in Lisa Marie?
It wasn't about us so much. I mean, I'd usually get Mom a little piece of jewelry or something, earrings or
Special.
whatever.
Necklace. or
Special.
Yeah.
Special. Usually it was, and sometimes I remember.
I remember like a fur coat or something.
Daddy got
Like
me
a white.
the
fox,
white,
yeah.
white fox, which I still
Uh-huh.
have, and we can't wear it.
Yeah.
But I would get Daddy like a surprise sport coat or shirt, tie,
Yeah.
to down at Walker's at Northland Mall.
Remember that place?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Cufflinks.
Yeah. Trying to think of stuff.
And he would usually have to take it back because it didn't fit.
Didn't
Yeah, it didn't fit. Usually the shirt would fit, but usually the coat wouldn't, right?
The other stuff I remember Val had like the hillbilly pajamas, like long johns.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember her getting long johns for something? With like the flap in the back?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a gag thing with any
Mhm.
dress or something, wasn't it?
But it was pajamas, like.
Yeah, I remember those red,
They were red.
Yeah.
Red and white.
Flannel.
and I remember she'd always have socks with like the toes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember those? The They were usually like striped or something.
Right.
She'd come downstairs.
Yeah, yeah.
And I also seem to remember you and Val had like a gag gift. Wasn't it like a fish?
Fish plate.
The fish plate.
We did that for several years, then it just kind of died off.
Yeah, you said the last one, I think she got you the picture that has the fish we had in the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's
you
right.
got her some kind of a platter, a big platter,
Yeah.
fish platter. And I think that was on Little Turtle.
Yeah.
Because at Christmas, or at the wedding, you got her something at the wedding too. For the wedding bridal shower or something. You got her a whole set of little plates.
Little fish plates.
plate. Yeah.
I don't know how that started.
The best gift I ever saw. 'cause
Yes,
it was
the
on
best.
TV. Remember?
The best gift I ever saw.
Mhm.
I do remember that. And you guys are both doing the best gift I ever.
Yeah.
Oh, you ought to get her a fish plate.
Close, huh?
Oh.
Should we tell him?
No, don't tell it. Don't tell it. No.
No.
No. So,
It's
no.
fish oriented.
No. Okay. So, was there ever a time you were worried you wouldn't have enough money for Christmas?
Oh, yeah. I remember Cornett Street, as I recall.
Yeah.
And we went to W.T. Grant's and got a credit card. And you had to buy your stuff there at W.T. Grant's.
I have no clue what WT Grants is.
G.C. Murphy's, same thing.
Five J.C. Murphy. J.C. Penney, like?
Yeah, yeah, today's equivalent. and it was stuff that it was nice, but it wasn't really what you wanted to get. You know, we'd rather go down to Hartley's or Jones and get something.
Was it like going into Meyer and getting stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a nice enough store, you know.
Okay.
And it was out in the mall or in the shopping center out near the Country Club Bakery. Remember?
Okay, so you got a credit card, and you charged the whole Christmas on that card?
Not all of it, but a good chunk of it. It was like $100, $200 maybe of stuff.
Yep.
Then I spent the whole next year paying it off.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the way it was. You
Yeah.
know.
I was so glad to get rid of that was it W.T. Grant payment each month.
Yeah. Because you remember the little red coat John had, jacket when he was little.
The red one with the white sleeves that I was talking about?
When
No,
you
it
were
was
little,
before
when
that.
you were a baby, when you were little, and you had a jacket, you know, just a little jacket, had a hood on it, and I think your picture was Santa Claus. You've got it on.
It was a winter coat.
Yeah. But it wasn't real heavy.
Mm-mm.
You know, it was more like a fall coat, more than a winter coat. And, you know, we didn't have money to get winter coats.
Yep.
You know? That's how bad it was.
Well, that's funny you say that, because that's how it was with Heather. The girls didn't have any winter coats. And the one year, and I went out and bought them all North Face stuff. And got every one of them a winter coat, because they didn't have any, and the girls were growing so fast. You know? And I called it gifts through gambling. I went to the casino, right? And I was going to get one gift, and I hit for like $700, you know. And I went and I instantly bought all brand new coats for everybody before I lost the money. And then I remember Todd and I, another time we went to the casino, and I remember I was joking and I said, okay, God, if I hit tonight, 50% goes to you. Darn it, if I didn't hit for like $900. So I was like, wow, I can't go back on this one, you know?
No.
So I went over to Tunnel Mall, and walked in there, and it was on the second floor near Macy's, down on the side that Build-A-Bear was. It was upstairs. It was a nicer store, like where you would get home furnishing type stuff.
I remember the store.
Not a Pier 1,
but I remember the store, but I can't remember.
You know what
the
I'm
name.
talking about? It was in there, and they had a, give money to this charity or whatever, right? And I went in there, and I'm like, yeah, I saw this thing that you had out there. I'd like to make a donation. And she's like, oh, okay. And I slapped down $400. She's like, is this really what you? Yeah, I do. And off I went. And I was like, had to.
You had to, absolutely.
You know.
You had to. That's what you said. You were
Yeah.
good.
You didn't say just kidding?
Nope. I was too
Bolt
worried.
lightning.
I was too worried.
You
Yeah.
didn't dare say anything now.
Yeah. Oh, and then the funny part is, I left there, and I bought. I'd gone and I got Heather a necklace at. What's the place? I can picture it. There was like a jewelry store up there too.
Was it going around the corner to Penny's?
No. Right down near Macy's. It wasn't a jewelry store like a traditional jewelry store. It was. They made the things the little bracelets that you had the things that attached to them. You remember the little
circles.
Yes.
Pandora.
I went there and got a gift in there. Walked out and went out the mall and didn't have my wallet. I'm like, I've been pickpocketed. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I went out and I had my phone and I had all my cards. I canceled my cards, I got a call like 2 hours later. Yeah, we found your wallet here at the Pandora store. I pulled it out to buy something and I'd set my wallet on the counter. And
So
here
it was
I
still
thought,
intact, huh?
yeah, but I'd canceled all my cards.
Yeah.
And then I had to
Yeah.
wait for I'm serious. But
Kathy
Yeah.
and Cheryl were looking after you.
yeah. So
Yeah.
so what was the latest you were ever up putting stuff together or putting out gifts? Like, do you ever remember
Probably
like
Omaha, I would say.
like you barely got to bed and we were like, wake
Probably
up.
Omaha.
Yeah.
It had to be Omaha.
Yeah, because by the time we got that stuff put together, it was like 2:00, and then by the time you go in and you put it up and trim around it, do the stuff you want to do, have a cup of coffee, go to bed, and you're awake 2 hours later.
And you're so darn tired you probably couldn't even enjoy it. But the energy gets you, doesn't
Yeah. It's Christmas.
it?
Yeah, it's Christmas. You gotta do it.
What was the best gift that you ever got? Do you remember any? Can you think of a gift that just jumps out that you,
Oh dear.
or maybe the best one you gave? Any stick out?
There's so many that stick out, when I think of Val and batons, and I think of you and roller skates, and how excited you were with those roller skates, and I don't think you wore them that much. I don't even know where they went. As far as I remember getting Grandma, Mom Merrifield, a case of grapefruit for Christmas.
You got her a case or she got us?
I got her a case of grapefruit.
I remember her always eating that grapefruit.
Yeah, she had to have grapefruit because of her intestines, her bowels, because she had cancer when she was like 70 years old, and they had to remove stuff. So anyway, she had, and grapefruit, canned grapefruit is very expensive, and you just don't get that good of grapefruit in the winter, you know. And anyway, in West Virginia, you know, so, but it's pretty expensive. And I remember getting her a case of grapefruit, and she canned grapefruit in cans, you know.
I thought you were talking about a case of fresh
like
grapefruit.
24, 24 cans.
She loved it.
Oh my gosh, I couldn't have got her anything any better. I mean, you know, that was it, because it's something she needed. Because if you ever ask her, she doesn't need anything, you know. She doesn't need anything.
You remember anything, Dad?
I'm trying to think. I think my favorite Christmas was the Oregon Christmas in Omaha.
Well, that would go down with me as one. And I don't know if it was because it was a big Christmas or we were just at that perfect age.
Yeah, probably.
You know, and when you think what the gifts were, a train, toys, and just everything, you know. Like I said, easy bake oven stuff and dolls, and I remember there just being toys everywhere, especially because I can still imagine flying that thing, and there's my cars, and
yeah, I knew Daddy when you guys were little, you know. I mean, look, I'm ready to spend all the money I got, you know, on you kids for Christmas, and I'd buy for everybody, you know, if I had it. And Daddy was, you know, but he never had big Christmases when he was little, like I did when I was little. Because Grandpa, I'm like Grandpa.
Because you're Pat, right?
Well, Grandpa, not Pat, but
Keener?
not Pat, but Grandpa Gus and Nami were the same way. Christmas was very big when we were little.
Okay.
It was very big. You know, the kids had to have what they asked for, and they had to have surprises, too.
Yeah.
They had to have surprises, things they didn't know, but you knew they'd love.
So you had lots of gifts at Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, when you got the train the one year, and we all three got bikes the same time. I mean, you know, everything. The clarinet came that year. My black dress and my black skirt. I mean, you know, everything was that year.
Yeah.
And it was just big Christmases.
And Christmas wasn't big for you guys, right?
But not so much to have.
Well, I gotta think you had so many boys, not a lot of money. You guys probably fought over every single gift there was.
Of course, Daddy was older.
Yeah, I mean,
Then.
different age group, you know.
Yeah.
I'm looking for stuff that was probably the best thing I got was that hi-li, you know. My dad called it hi-fi, hi-li.
Hi-li.
Oh, they got you a record player?
Turquoise portable record player with crappy speakers.
But did you like it?
Yeah, it was better than, you know, nothing. But I really wanted a stereo hi-fi, you know. So I got that. It was turquoise. I mean, it was a girly color. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I listened to a lot of 45s. That was the best thing, was getting the 45s for 50 cents. Remember that? You give a gift for somebody's birthday, you take that record, 50 cents, you put a 50-cent piece right in the middle of it, man. It was a buck. That was a great gift.
Yeah.
Well, you made reference to something here a minute ago when you talked about the aluminum foil, right? When you guys were talking about the aluminum foil. When did the wacky gift wrapping start? You know, the snowman and then the TV. And, I mean, when did the
Just
gifts
recently.
before that?
Recently.
Well, I remember things on Lisa Marie being wrapped where Dad would take, like, the cardboard that was, you know, the roll itself, and you'd turn that into something, and something
like maybe
become
a rake, and I used the cardboard to
Yes.
cover the.
That's probably where it started there. What was in there, though?
Well, I got you a rake one time.
Is that what it was?
I did get you. I got you rake twice. I got you a regular rake and a leaf rake.
Yeah.
Because it was like a fan, that one.
Because I remember I did one, and I can't remember if I did it for Heather too, where I took a cord off of something, like off a stereo, a power cord, and I think it was like a set of like frying pans, like skillets, but it looked like a skillet. You know, you couldn't wrap it. So what I did, I took a stereo cord and just tied it around the handle and had the cord come out with the plug, you know, and then wrapped it like in a box, you know, and here's this cord hanging out going, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
You know, trying to camouflage it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so.
I think with us, and it's been in the last few years, that one year, the 1 year I was working so many hours, and Daddy had to help me wrap. Daddy didn't usually wrap things. He would go help you buy them and all that, you know.
Did
but
you do all the wrapping? He did good wrapping too, though.
But this was early. I did the wrapping. When you kids were little, I did the wrapping.
You wrapped them all?
Oh, yeah.
Did you do it all
Yeah.
Christmas evening? Or did you do
No,
it?
I do it a
Week
little at a
before
time
anyway.
and hide it.
And go under the bed.
But when I was working at the mall, and we just started, I said something about he was going to have to help me wrap. Because I couldn't do it, you know. I knew how much I had to do, and so he said, okay, I can do that. And he had free time or whatever. I don't even remember where he was working at the time. But I think we were in this house. I think we were in
Here's
this
the
house.
condo?
Is that like when you had the little stuffed animal on the thing and stuff?
Yeah. And we were in this condo. So that's been in the last 7 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you did the thing for Jeff, the big snowman,
Yeah.
for the weights.
Yeah. And so it was, so what happened, he said, he would wrap, you know, this one day I had to work late till like 11 o'clock and, you know, at the mall. He said, no, I'll take care of wrapping. So I went to work. He went to Target and he bought wrapping paper. I had told him I had wrapping paper and bows and, you know, well, that wasn't good enough. So that's what he started. He spent a fortune. He spent over $100 on wrapping paper, you know, ornament things to put on them, just, you know, ribbon, whatever. Well, he did a beautiful job. You know, the presents he wrapped, he did really good, and he did good. He wrapped the lids separate, and so it could just come off, and you know, and everything.
I remember this. Didn't he forget to put tags on them?
Sometimes, because he would know who they were for, though, but nobody else did, and I didn't, you know. And he's real good about that. He don't put tags on mine, you know. And and so it just then it got kind of like, well, we did sit, the girls made the comment how pretty the packages were. So the next year I said, Daddy, I'm going to make mine pretty this year. So then I started getting some more fancy, more bows and ribbon and making my own bows and stuff and wrapping them real pretty and we had sequin all over the floor at Val's. But and then we started with the girls saying, well, the contest, you know, and then her and Lindsay would have a contest who could you know, fix the prettiest or the best present, you know, between her and Lindsay. And so then they'd ask me who won, you know.
Okay, so that's how it came about.
So it kind of came about with Daddy first of all, and then the girls saying that, and then it just became a thing where, you know, if we didn't set out to say, okay, this person this year is gonna get the gag or the wrapped present different or whatever. We didn't set out to do it that way. It just worked that way. You know, Jeff with the Christmas tree.
The first really weird one was that green Christmas tree.
The Christmas
and
tree.
then I wrapped ornaments all the way around it. Okay, and
what was in the Christmas tree?
I'm thinking it was a popcorn bowl upside down.
Yes, I do remember that.
I mean, it wasn't. It was just something, you know. you won't know what it is, and
Yeah.
nothing you're expecting. But it was something he had asked for, you know, because he's a
Yeah,
popcorn guy.
because ever since then, I've liked camouflaging things too.
Yeah,
Like how you could get a pair of jeans into a tennis ball can.
yeah, yeah.
You know, by kids. A rolling, you know, when I remember Lily or someone wanted skinny jeans,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it was like, okay, how can I do something fun with these?
Right, right. And that's kind of what we did, you know, and it just came about. And, you know, we did it last year with, was it the weights
Well,
last
wait a
year?
minute, no,
No.
it was a TV set
The
last
TV
year.
set for
Yeah, the
John
weight-
last year. And
The weights were
year
the
before.
year before, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
I
The
don't
Santa
think-
Claus was a
Snowman.
no, it was a round bucket.
That was
It's
a
like
snowman.
Yes, I
That's a
know.
snowman.
Yeah, what is Santa Claus? I had so much trouble getting the roundness to go around that bucket and to where it stayed round because I ended up using packing material,
Yeah, I
You know,
remember
air pockets, and newspaper and anything I could get, to get that baby round. And then that was the base. And then I had to make another one for the stomach and then another one for the head.
that. Crazy.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
I put
and
so
then,
much.
then you got to go find a hat. You got to find
Oh,
a
yeah.
scarf. You got to find eyeballs.
I think I had more money tied up in the
Just
in
in the
gift bag.
packaging.
Yeah. Certainly had the time because I'll bet that
Yeah.
was like 2 days to
Oh,
get
yeah.
that thing put
It,
together.
it took a while.
So what was it like as you got, in the night of Christmas? So on the 25th, when you went to bed at night, you'd be laying there talking about the day's events, looking back.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember those days?
Mm-hmm.
Like, were you proud? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of feelings did you
Yeah,
have?
yeah. We would talk and about,
You see,
wasn't John excited or wasn't so and so happy?
it was the anticipation of what was going to happen the next
you
morning.
know.
Mm-hmm.
That-
Sometimes I have a hard time falling asleep just thinking
But
about
I'm talking about
But
the night.
the night of,
Christmas.
not Christmas Eve,
The night.
the
of
night
Christmas.
after, where you like, that was awesome.
it. Oh, yeah.
Christmas Day night.
You think those early 70s years, like you said, Omaha, Virginia,
Yeah.
those early ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot of satisfaction.
Because I think those are the ones I think of when I think of
Mm-hmm.
Christmas.
You think of when the kids are little,
Mhm.
and as we've gotten older, it's thinking the grandchildren, of course, because
Yeah.
you're following that. But
What
then
was
you think of the special things that excited you when you opened your present from us, or something that you didn't expect, or and how surprised you were, and so I'm glad we did that, or maybe we shouldn't have done that, or whatever, But usually it was glad we did it.
Yeah.
You know.
So I got a few more questions. This is kind of once we make that transition to Christmas as adults. And so just what was the reason that caused you to switch from the tree with the from the regular tree to you went to the mauve bows and the white lights?
It was probably because it was an artificial tree, probably.
Because I remember going, wow, it's a pretty tree. It's not a Christmas tree though. I remember having that.
I was on Lisa Marie, or on Little Turtle.
Uh-huh.
in the
Was it
first-
Flood Rock where we did that?
Yeah, the mom.
Something different.
Yeah, it was something different, and there was kind of a joke between Lil and I, and Grandpa Gus and Daddy during that period, like when we were together, or maybe at Thanksgiving or something, and I remember one time Lil said she wanted to stop at some mall to run into the store because she wanted to see if they had mauve balls. Because she had a tree with mauve bows and balls on her tree. And she had an artificial.
Uh-huh.
So, of course, Grandpa always said, mauve balls. And so it kind of got on Harvey Wallbanger. mall balls. And so every time then we see Lil after that or say something about Christmas, there's always this joke about the mall balls.
That's awesome. See, I knew there had to be a story behind it.
And I don't know if that's why I decided to do the tree and mauve or not, or maybe it was just the color that year that when we moved, you know, to
Well, you had nearly white carpet.
yeah, I had the
In-
white
in the living
carpet,
room.
you know,
Yeah.
and on that little turtle, and the new couch, the white couch, and you know, so I just wanted it more pretty than Christmassy, I guess, because your
No.
kids were grown.
Did we use that down in Charleston?
The mauve balls?
Mhm.
No, I don't think so.
So, I know you also said you have a tradition with rocking horses with Val. How'd that come about? Was that Nami?
That was Nami, when Valerie was going to school, going to college, and joined the sorority. And her mascot was the little green worm.
Uh-huh.
And her and Nami were talking about it. And Nami says, "Oh, I sure as heck wouldn't want to have that be my mascot, because I hate little green worms. I don't like any worms, you know. When she's shucking corn or whatever, you know. She don't like worms, and fishing worms, you know. And I don't either."
Coffee.
And so then she says, Valerie said to her, "Why don't you like him?" And she says, "I don't know why I don't like him. They're yucky." You know? And Valerie said, "Well, if you had something you collected, what would you collect?" And she said, "Probably a rocking horse." And Valerie said, "Why a rocking horse?" She said, "Because a rocking horse can't hurt you."
So rocking horse what?
Can't hurt you.
Oh,
Okay.
Rocking horse
So
can't
did
hurt
Val
you.
get her?
So Valerie got her a rocking horse, her very first one that she got Nami.
How big was it?
I can't tell you. I can't tell you.
Like an ornament size, or are you talking?
Yes. And it was just something small, you know. And the last one she got, it was that Nami got Valerie, a rocking horse, was her, Valerie got Nami, a rocking horse, was when she was in the hospital before she died. It was a little pin, was a little rocking horse.
Oh.
And it was in December when she died. She took it to the hospital and gave it to her. And Valerie wore it at her funeral.
Did Val pin it on her?
No, Valerie wore it on herself because she had gotten rocking horses from Valerie through the years. So Valerie was in college, and she would collect green worms when she saw them. You know, we got the little green riding worm.
Yeah, I remember that.
The bookcase ends.
Yeah.
You know, different things. She would look for them all the time.
Nami would?
Yeah, look for them all the time. And she would get them. It wouldn't have to be birthday or anything. It'd just be, she found it, you know, and she'd give it to her. And then when, you know, she told me, she said, "When I'm gone, I want all these rocking horses to go to Valerie, back to her, you know." So Joanne and I knew that. And so, of course, Joanne knew exactly where they were when she passed. And I had to get them for Valerie. And that's why Valerie has all her rocking horses. And so when Nami passed, then I continued
To give them?
to give her the rocking horse.
Oh.
And you saw the one I got her for this coming.
Yep.
Okay.
So, how did, okay, so talking about collectibles and stuff, how did the D56 village start?
It started with, I think when we moved to Charleston, just looking at the shops, down on Market Street,
Mhm.
and the Christmas stores and things, and they had Christmas displays of the villages in this one particular store. And I remember telling Daddy about I would like to have one, just a church,
Mhm.
you know. And I thought Valerie would too, because she was married then, of course,
Mhm.
and I thought that would be nice. And I said I just like to have a little church, and that's how it started.
What's the name of that place? Purple something?
Purple Plum.
Purple Plum.
So you got, so was it, did it, so it started as you wanting one,
Mm-hmm.
then did it always stay your thing, or did it turn to your thing?
No, how it happened was the guy at Purple Plum was the salesman.
He got ya.
So he takes us back and they had a special display. And one table they had Dickens Village, and another one had Christmas in the City, another one had the North Pole. And he was kind of letting us in that he had a bunch of them upstairs that were, you know, had already retired. But he wasn't going to let those go. About the value, how they were going up. Looking at that and saying, okay. And so he started calling us whenever they'd get a limited edition piece in. I'm holding this for you because they were rare to find a limited edition piece.
So you'd go pick them up?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he never shafted us. I mean, he never charged extra. It was, you know, they were just real nice people, but they knew that we enjoyed the village. So we started off with Dickens. And it wasn't long after that we saw, I think it was up in Myrtle Beach. We were up there for a weekend, and we went into this one Christmas store looking for Dickens, and we saw Christmas in the City. I thought, dang, I like these better than Dickens. Dickens was old England, you know. They were attractive, but the Christmas City was much more modern, you know. And so City had already been out for about 3 years, and they'd had 3 years of retirements. So we bought everything over a period of that year that was current. And then we started, you know, traveling around, and the quest was to find a store that had either discontinued selling or still had a retired piece on the shelf. We would gobble that up. And
Yeah, I wondered if it was more the hunt
yeah, oh, it
that
was.
you liked, you
We
know,
hunted all over South Carolina, North Carolina.
because that's different. Like today, searching for something on the internet, all you do is look it up and you can get it. That's no fun for collecting.
And then they had a club that we had down there with other couples. There was probably at least 6 couples. And we would go to Greenville or North Carolina, and we go to shows where they sell secondary market. It was a secondary market on all retired
stuff
pieces.
that you didn't have.
And you would spend the weekend there, you know, and we would get together. We'd have a meeting. We'd get together, and you know, somebody's looking for a particular piece or something that they're for their collection. Maybe they don't collect so and so, but you know, I was the only one that did snow babies. You know, and so we were doing that. But we would have at Christmas time, then we'd go at each other's homes and see their displays, you know, for the year and so on. So it became a social little get together for all of us too.
So I was gonna say, so what's your favorite thing about it? Was it collecting it? Was it showing it? Was it building it? Was it the train? Was it the video? I mean, what's been the most fun?
No, all of that. But the best part
It's finding it.
was the hunt. You know, trying to find the retired pieces, and it wasn't until Christmas in the City from the very first year all the way up to about 1990 or 1995. We've got every piece, and I was missing one, which was St. Mark's Church. That's the rarest. That's the Holy Grail of D56. And at one point, it was like $3,000. You know, because it was rare. It was stopped right in the middle of production because they were breaking so
They were
easily.
breaking because
You'd
of
ship them, and somebody would get it at the store, and it was broken. So they finally said, "We're not going to do this anymore." So there are only about 1,500 pieces in the world that are still intact.
Did you end up with one?
I have one. Yes, I didn't spend that much money.
And he didn't get it till when?
A couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And in fact, it's never been on display. It's still in the box. But the reason I did that, I suppose, was just to complete the collection, to say I had the whole thing. And I kind of lost interest after that because I kept waiting. But what happened is Department 56 was sold
I
out.
remember they went public, and then
They went public, and then another company bought them. And then the stuff that they were putting out was not the same quality, and they were flooding the market with it.
Yeah, if I remember, they have them at Macy's. They have them everywhere.
Well, they don't.
But they were.
Nobody has them anymore. Nobody's
A
carrying
lot
them.
of people aren't carrying them.
Well, they lost the collectors.
The
that's right.
56, Department 56.
Yeah.
They're not
All the
carrying.
clubs just disbanded.
Yeah,
You know.
all the clubs. Now I think they may still have some, maybe in North Carolina, South Carolina, different
Yeah.
places. Maybe they have some over in the Virginia area, but you know they were up in Wisconsin and Michigan. And,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you would have this area is very popular. Was very popular for it because of it being up there in Wisconsin and everything, but. And then they would have up in New England, when the New England Village come out, up in Boston and Connecticut, everyone was after that village,
Yeah.
you know. And so if somebody, but maybe I wasn't collecting it, but maybe I found a piece and somebody wanted that piece, and you know, and so on. But I think, like Daddy said, the hunt. You know, like you may be shopping in downtown Charleston and you look in a building or an antique place, you know, because they were on the antique market and different flea markets.
Drugstores that used to carry them, and you know,
Yeah.
or they had a retired piece.
Yeah, and all by itself.
We searched in Fairmont over at a gift shop. Well,
Ryder's.
Ryder's Pharmacy had 'em,
Pharmacy,
you know.
which was right there at East Side, right there by the bridge, but
There was another. Who was the guy down in Charleston? Single guy.
what's his name?
I can't think of his name, but he was so into it. He was so into it. He bought Wong's in Chinatown restaurant. I have one. He bought 50 of them. I mean, he was gonna wrap up the whole market. Oh, am I off?
Just a little bit.
So he was going to wrap up the whole market, and man, he bought these things like crazy, and it wasn't long after that the market dropped. And he had paid like $50 a piece for them, and all of a sudden they're worth 17.
Just lost his
Yeah,
shirt.
yeah, he did.
Yeah, I mean it was just it's something like I know I would say to Daddy. I'm pretty sure I saw one of the houses we're looking for, you know, it's so and so, you know, and so we had to stop there, you know, in case, you know, it is. And I know I didn't get to look at it close. I don't know if it's cracked. I don't know if it's retired. I don't know, you know. And sure enough, that was the thing we would do. I'd see something or he'd see something.
And off you'd go.
And off we'd go. You know, we might drive 25 miles to see if it was it. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't.
So which one is your favorite? Do you have a favorite Department 56, one or two? That's your favorite ones?
House itself.
Yeah.
The house itself. Well,
I don't know what it
Or a
is.
church, or
Yeah, it's a little white New England church because it reminds her of the church up where
outside.
Mount Zion.
is it upstairs?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's probably.
So by the graveyard,
Yeah.
because
that's
there's a
right.
graveyard on Mount Zion.
Right there.
Yeah.
And it just reminded me of that.
Okay.
You know, it's probably my favorite church. It's not the prettiest church or most elaborate church.
But it's just the one that.
It's the one that hit me. And as far as villages are concerned, I like the North Pole in particular. I like them all, but I like the North Pole in particular because I think we've got all of them up to a certain
We started the
year.
very first year the North Pole came out. We
We
bought every
got-
piece.
Yeah.
So
The hardest-
what's your favorite one?
Uh, I like Christmas in the city.
But is there one in particular, one or two?
No, because every one of them has been a challenge to find. You know.
Yeah.
I take that back. I think the very first time I found a piece that I'd really been looking for, and it made me feel really good, was a chocolate shop.
Yeah.
Chocolate shop. Remember we got that one, and it was
Yeah.
like.
And it wasn't the prettiest building. You know, it's not a pretty building.
Yeah.
You know, it's just because you were hunting that one. You know, we need that one. You know.
I remember also that down at the one store we were talking about, when the North Pole first came out, I bought 3 of the Santa's houses, and I sold one of the
Santa's Workshop or whatever?
Yeah, Santa's Workshop. Kept the first one for me. I sold, they were like $80 or $100, something like that. They were not cheap, okay, because it was a very intricate piece. And I sold one to a kid that was just starting to collect, and I think I sold it to him for $300. That was my first profit, and I thought, yeah, I'm gonna do some more of this. I bought another one, and I think I maybe sold it up in Charlotte or someplace, you know, for $150 or something like that. But I remember going in there, and he said, they're going to start spelling out North Pole, and the first one coming is Nini's. I said, oh, that'd be cool, especially on a mantle someplace, N-O-R, and then, a couple of them had 2 businesses together like TH, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then post office was P for pole, and then Orly's bell and harness,
Mm-hmm.
and then something else. I don't remember them all.
Yeah.
But we've got every one of those. And then the next thing that he mentioned to us was, we've got a limited edition coming out called Dorothy's Dress Shop for Christmas in the City. That was a hard thing to find, and he saved it for us.
Okay.
And that's really where the hunt began, because I was missing several from the first 3 years, and so we started. At first it was just in town, and then it went a little further out and a little further out. Then on trips back to West Virginia, or to Ohio rather, we make sure that we stopped along the way in several places. So we've done, I don't know how many.
So then how did the Snow Babies come about?
Well, I kind of
Same thing.
about the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mom saw them.
You just saw them like, that's
Oh,
cute?
yeah.
Because then
Oh,
I remember then we started picking them up, you know, and
They're just cute, you know, and
how many do you think you have? Or what's the most?
we probably have at least 300, probably. You think?
Anyway,
Counting
well,
Because you had the ones on the tree.
Counting
Yeah, if you count the
and
ornaments.
everything. Probably, maybe not quite.
You had the
but-
wreath?
Huh?
Didn't you have a wreath
I,
too? With Snow
well, I
Baby?
have a wreath and I can put snow babies on it. I mean, you know, just
Yeah.
depending on the snow baby. I have a sweatshirt with snow babies on it too,
Yeah.
and I've
pillows.
What are your
Pillow.
favorite Snow Babies? You have a favorite? Couple favorites?
no, I don't really because they're all special.
Yeah, tumbling in the snow was my favorite one.
Yeah, not
'Cause he's-
like that one.
Yeah, because it was it 5 pieces,
Uh-huh.
and they're in various
You have
stages of rolling. Okay,
That. Yeah, that's the one we got. No.
and then let's see. There's another one where he's flying on a snowflake. That's a rare one, very rare. I paid money for that one. I think I paid what, $90 or $100 for that, for the $10 ornament. But because it was rare, they sold out. And yeah,
But it depends on. It depends as when you say favorite ones. It depends on 2 things. Depends on who gave it to you,
Mm-hmm.
and it depends on what the name of the snow baby is, because they each have a name. You know, each one has something. Tumbling in the snow you know, All Fall Down, you know,
Yeah.
First Noel.
You got the music instruments and you got
Yeah.
everything.
Everything. So it just kind of, that's why I
Well,
like
you've
them
seen
all.
the marching band we put
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, my marching band goes to Clear Frost anymore, you know, the thing. But just certain ones, just are special.
And then it got the same thing when D56 sold. They started flooding the market, and I mean, they'd put out like 40 pieces a year, you know, and the price went from $10 to about 30. Well, that's $1,200.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm also collecting. So and so as a consequence, I sold off most of my Dickens that I had, you know, because they were retired, and kept just a few, and that's when we started concentrating strictly. And I had a little bit of New England Village, and I have a couple of Alpine Village, and they're in a box up there. We just don't do anything with them.
And we got extra Dickens that, you know, we don't use, but we still have, you know.
Just never sold them. Or...
Just haven't sold them.
Well, I mean, it's like you've got Bob Cratchit's house, you got Tiny Tim, you've got, you know, you're not going to get rid of those.
Those things are kind of special ones, you know. I like to have that section.
The weird one that we never bought, or maybe we did, came in two versions. It was an upside down boat, and it was named for one of the Dickens characters.
Mm-hmm.
It was his
Nottingham.
house. No, that's a church, Nottingham Church. I can't think of what it is,
I
but
know it is.
it came in green was the standard one, but they shipped a few that weren't painted. They're all white, or
Kind of an orangey color.
very rare to get one of those. And I thought it was the ugliest thing I've ever seen. But we still looked for it and looked and looked and looked. And I think the last time that I saw one that was without the green paint on it was like $400. This was back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't even see them anymore. But so because they were bringing so many out, we had started collecting them all. And it just got to be more expensive now.
Okay.
Well, and no place to
have
display them.
space.
Right.
You
And
know,
it
the
wasn't
store.
until we moved here. This is one of the reasons we bought the condo, because of the loft upstairs. And as soon as I saw it, I thought, this is where the
Who
village
buys
is.
a condo for the village?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Well, no, it's beyond that. Let me tell you about a lady down in Greenville, South Carolina. Money. And she had plenty of money.
Yeah.
They
yeah,
built
honey.
a round addition to their house. I think it was a separate building, all brick.
With glass.
And you would walk in on the first floor, she'd have a display of D56. And then they had a spiral staircase going around this room, and they had windows in it. And different shelves. So as you would go up the stairs, I mean, she probably had $100,000 in that building.
So,
Okay.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And had displays, and of course, you know,
All the way to get to the top.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and then
With
another
the North
display,
Pole up at the top or something.
another display room up there, yeah.
Just beautiful, I assume.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
A lot
Well,
of
and
money.
then
It is a
then
lot
for
of
the
money.
collection to go kaput like that.
When it
Yeah.
fell, you know, and when it fell, we were sad because of that, because we thought,
Yeah,
well,
but you didn't collect it for collectibles.
we
It's-
didn't.
No.
No. Well, you know, but when we were in the clubs and all that, and we were selling them on when we would find extra ones that were retired,
Mhm.
and we could sell and make some money so that we could buy one that we needed. You know, that
Yeah.
was always good, nice. You know,
Trade them sometimes. you
yeah,
know,
trade.
whatever. What would happen? I remember we went to North Carolina one time. It was like a 2-day affair.
Mm-hmm.
You rent a room, and then you put out all of your display in that room. So whenever you went to bed, you still surrounded with all these boxes of stuff.
I'd be afraid someone would steal your stuff.
Oh well, you didn't leave, and somebody
Oh.
your door was open. There would be a special hotel, like the embassy or something,
Mhm.
and they would have what
You had
rooms
you
were
had
available.
sit hours,
set hours, you know.
And so, that Mr. and Mrs. Mathew are in, room 240 or whatever. And the whole idea was the group that got together, okay, would start in one room and they just keep going around. And then we'd take our turn.
And you just locked your door and then...
No. We kept the door open. You're still selling stuff,
You're
man.
still selling.
You're there to sell your product.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But one of us would end up walking around and doing the entire route, buying products. And that's pretty much the way it went.
Crazy.
It was a fun thing.
But I think that
us.
one time that we went to North Carolina, we sold about $3,000 worth of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did really good.
That's
Our
crazy.
trunk was just full. Most in the
I
back
bet.
seat, you know.
And a lot
People
of
would come with the big, huge, SUV trucks.
they
you
had
know,
vans. People would fill up a van with them.
with houses and then it wasn't just the houses. Then it got to be the accessories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say because
And
you
hand-
gotta
Well,
have
that's
that.
what takes up all the space. And
Yeah,
that's
and
what-
you gotta have those to make it come alive.
Yeah.
You know. You
And
just
then
gotta
and
have
then,
that.
then you'd go to the show, and everything was D56.
Yeah.
But then you'd go to the show, and you'd have the guys that handmade stuff that went perfectly with the village.
Well, that's
You
where
know
the train stuff came into play.
No, that train's D56.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But like
Or
the
you're talking about the
bonfire.
trolley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John.
Yeah. But like
But-
the bonfire,
yeah, the bonfire.
Yeah.
somebody made how to do that and how to fix a
It was
special light.
toothpicks.
Yeah.
Toothpicks, and he stained them.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just had fun doing that.
Yeah, and making the tombstones for the graveyard.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
little twigs to make something,
I always thought that was kind of like the combination of the model railroading and the
Kinda.
D56.
Kinda.
Kind of merged together.
Yeah, kind of. And I think that was one thing Daddy liked about it. Because when he made mountains,
Yeah. Oh,
down
I
in
still remember
Charleston-
making the mountains in Virginia.
Yeah, or when he made them in Charleston, for the village in Charleston.
Did you make them out of like the?
Paper mache and
Yeah,
over wire. Yeah.
Yeah. You did that down in.
Yeah, and had
So-
had the tunnel going down through the mountain and coming out the other side. All the different colors.
Yeah, the mountain was always in a corner.
Yeah, it's always out.
So where the track's turning,
Yeah.
and it was he would have I had the kitchen when it was in the kitchen in Charleston. It was in that dinette area at first, the very first year when he made the mountains. It was okay while he was doing the paper mache stuff, but when he brought the spray cans of paint in, and I had white wallpaper,
Oh no.
with little brush strokes.
Tell me he didn't.
He didn't. But I'm telling you, I was scared to death, and because he's wearing green and black and brown.
That's.
But we managed.
that's what a sheet of cardboard's for.
Yeah, you learn to do it right, But we had.
Don't think I wasn't concerned too.
we had a lot of people come visit in Charleston, the house. That's when I make gingerbread and cider and
Well,
churches would come.
well, You know how in Charleston we had it was a big kitchen and a dining area. Okay, we divided, so the kitchen was all by itself, and then started on the inside wall, went across them all the way down toward the dinette. So
It was
we had
huge.
2 rooms,
It was huge.
And after we moved back, I don't even know if we put it out up in Powell.
I don't think we put any village out.
Hmm.
Now. Big snow babies.
But in Vinington, I had 2 pieces, that I put out there in the dining room.
Yeah. I
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where I started thinking seriously about, man, I need a couple 4x8 sheets of plywood. And then when we saw this, I thought, right on.
Jeremy's collecting.
Yeah, I saw
You
that.
saw that?
Yeah.
He's needing tables.
Oh,
So I told him,
he's
welcome
gonna have to come up here.
Yeah, come up and get him, because he tells everybody about the village, our village, every year. He tells people about it and everything. But he hasn't seen it other than on YouTube, too, and he just loved to see it, he said. So I said, when we're gone, we'll probably ought to leave him a couple pieces of
Yep.
of the village anyway.
Got a couple more questions here, just a few. So, well, eventually you got the joy of being grandparents and having little kids around again. And that certainly, I think, brought Christmas back to life.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Christmas is for kids.
how much fun has it been watching them as they've grown up to get to see the magic of Christmas all over?
Oh, I just think it's wonderful. I love Christmas, and every year, when they make their little lists at Christmas time and give to you what they want from Santa and what they want from Christmas. At first, it was, I want this, this, or this, and then it got to be, you can find it such and such, Amazon.
Here's the hot
whatever.
link.
Yeah, the link, and I'm going, are you kidding me? I said, what happened to getting what you don't pitch fit, you get what you get, and so on. But the girls have been spoiled.
Yep.
Our grandchildren have been spoiled.
I got aggravated with one, and that's when Lindsay wanted Nicki Minaj perfume. I said, Nicki Minaj, how can you, Val, why are you even letting them watch that stuff? I mean,
Yeah.
horrible, But I got it.
Yeah,
You got suckered in anyway.
You
What
got
you
it.
do.
Yeah, and what was the other one? McKenna had Britney Spears.
Yeah.
I remember the Britney Spears doll ones, and I'm going, are you kidding me?
But-
and so on.
So how much did it make you reminisce? Like seeing them at the top of the stairs.
Yeah,
Did it make you remember us coming down?
sure.
But like, did you wait at the bottom of the steps and do it the same way we did, where you'd be there with the video camera?
Yeah,
Or
usually, yeah. Yeah, maybe we didn't have stairs at
Uh-huh.
every place, but
you'd get us coming into the room? That
yeah. And
Well,
it was always
let's think
special.
about that for a second.
It was always
We
special.
put the tree up in Omaha downstairs, didn't we?
yeah.
And so they had to come down because it was a split foyer.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Howie was downstairs.
Yeah. And
Marion was on the same floor.
Marion was same floor. Yeah.
But then Omaha or Columbus was downstairs.
Yeah, downstairs,
Mhm.
and then I don't think kids ever had a Christmas down in Charleston, did they?
Mm-mm.
I mean that was a big thing, was making the drive all the way back up, just for Christmas. And I'll say we missed one.
I think it's great that you guys came
Yeah.
by.
I'm glad we did.
I'm not.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
No, you
You wouldn't
say
have
that.
missed it. You wouldn't have missed it for the world.
Yeah, that's what a car's for. You drive home for Christmas.
That's
So,
right.
so what advice would you like to leave to Lindsay and McKenna about Christmas with their kids someday? Now that you passed it on to Val and me, what would you say to them about Christmas?
Well, things are different today than they were back then, but children are still children. So you're going to do, repeat, and then do it again. A lot more gadgets and electronic stuff, but when they're little, they still like the doll babies and the trucks,
Mhm.
So you do that for as long as you can until all of a sudden that magic is gone. And that happens, 13 or 14, sometimes 10. Depends on who your terrible friends are,
What about you, Mom? What advice would you?
Well, I agree with Daddy too, as far as, kids are kids and they always going to want certain toys or certain things for Christmas. I would suggest that to never forget the true meaning of Christmas, and to try and always work in traditions of the family of the father's family, the mother's family, grandmothers, uncles, whatever, and keep those traditions going. Whether it be cookie baking or out to lunch and Christmas shopping or going to the zoo to see the zoo lights or going Christmas caroling and Christmas Eve at church and
I love the fact that we still get together first thing in the morning.
yes, getting together.
You know, there's something about Christmas. Like if we went over there at 3 in the afternoon,
Not the same.
it would not be the same.
No, it won't.
And the girls now are going, oh God, we have to do this again. And this time Josh will be up there. He has to come down with them.
Yeah.
But you know, eventually they'll be downstairs too, and the little ones will be
Yep.
up there, and you're going to probably be around to see that.
Yep.
You'll see the great nieces. and
Maybe
nephews.
someday.
Yeah, I think you will. I think you really will. And
Maybe.
I hope
Maybe.
you never cease to do that.
Oh no.
You know, and because that's also your Christmas.
Oh, that is my Christmas.
That's right. It's your Christmas too.
So, are there any other stories or things about Christmas that you can think of that you want to talk about? Anything? Have I missed anything? We talked about Christmas trees. We talked about well, we haven't talked about stockings, but stockings were usually stuff we needed, and some
Yeah,
candy
just
and
little
stuff.
stuff.
Little
Candy.
stuff or
Uh-huh.
gag things, and maybe a special thing,
Yep.
special necklace or something in a tree, in the stocking. Just anything that has to do with a tradition
And
that
family.
that you make with your family.
Well, it's like that. And I think she stopped doing it, but with the elves, I thought that was real.
Oh,
cute.
the elf on the shelf.
But they got him out. Remember last
Yeah.
year? They did get him out.
But you know, the tradition I think that she's done that's been fantastic is I love the ornaments that they put on the tree.
Yeah.
You know, where whatever happened that year,
Mm-hmm.
I love that they do that.
Mm-hmm.
Then you look at the tree and it's like just loaded.
Mm-hmm. I asked her either yesterday or today. I think it was today when I was talking to her. If because the girls were coming home tonight for Thanksgiving, and anyway, she said something about she got the lights up. Her and Jeff got the lights up outside, except for the very top of the house, which they're not going to do this year,
Yeah.
but they did the bushes and stuff. Anyway, and I said, how about your tree? And she said, well, Jeff wanted to go get it yesterday, but but she wasn't ready. And I said, well, do you still have all their ornaments at your house? Or I said, did they take their special box of ornaments home with them? You know, does McKenna have hers and Lindsay have hers? And, you know, and she said, no, they're all still here at the house. She said, I know they're going to put their own little tree up and do things. You know, McKenna and Josh did last year. They had a little tree up, you know, and some decorations, and Lindsay will too. But she says, I think all the special ones that are family special ones will probably stay here.
Yep.
At least for a while.
That makes sense because you don't want to lose them, or
Yeah.
they're not old enough to appreciate them yet. I don't think.
I think they take care of them.
I think the goofiest one that is Jeff's from when he was a kid.
Which one?
That white space astronaut.
Space astronaut.
Oh,
Yeah, but that's special to him. You
Yeah.
know, that's very special to him.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Well, it's
yeah.
tradition.
That's right. You gotta have that on the tree.
Yeah.
You know, just like Larry has the little bird, the cardinal in the nest, that was Nami's, you know.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to have that in there. You know. It makes it, and that's what everyone sees. And I know I'm the same way when I look at Val's tree, you know, and I go around and look at it all and all the different ones and where they went and what they did and what that means to them. And
Well, they're gonna have teacher stuff, and you know, I mean, just cool stuff. So.
it's a great remembrance. It's a great tradition they have.
Oh, I don't know how she came up with it, but man.
Yeah.
And you got to start it young,
Beginning.
at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's been so great about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Okay, so just one last question. I'll start with you, Dad. What's your favorite thing about Christmas?
Honestly, the gift giving. Getting a gift is not important. It's giving, watching the joy that it gives to other people. I mean, to me, that's Christmas. You know.
What about you, Mom?
Well, I agree with Daddy with that too. Giving and watching the excitement.
Dinner's not all that bad, too.
And but just the fact of being together at Christmas time and reminiscing.
Yep.
Reminiscing about past Christmases or even thinking about in the future. You know, like we already were talking about, maybe someday getting great nieces and nephews, you know.
Crazy to think that.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, it probably will happen,
Yeah.
you know, and you will be around to see it. But just the family and the traditions of what our family has made it so far.
Yep.
You know, when I think back of Nami and maybe she didn't have the money to get people gifts, but she managed to give them something. You know,
What about the gift or the money?
no, but she felt like she needed to give something, and
Yep.
whether it was a tube socks for you and white dress or black dress socks for Daddy,
Yep.
you know, it was something.
The one thing I don't like anymore, gift cards.
Yep.
And yet that's the all-American way to do it. Let them pick out what they want.
I mean, you get it,
Certain things
But
is
it's-
okay.
but it's changed it, you know, because
It has.
me giving you 50 and you giving me $50, not the same.
What's the point?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah.
I agree.
It is. It's almost like
In fact,
I didn't have time.
what we need to declare, I just happened to think of this.
What, a gift card
At
for
Thanksgiving, we're going to have a gift card free zone. No gift cards.
You can have cash, but no gift cards.
No, not even that.
No,
No
because
gift,
you figure we gave money for wedding. At least I did.
Mhm.
You did too.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's not. I mean, it's nice, and I really think that helped him hopefully for a down payment on a house or something. But yeah, there's got to be more than that too. So,
Mhm.
especially first Christmas,
Mhm.
for them.
Mhm.
So
Mhm. I agree.
So,
I agree.
yeah.
100%. And you know, like I said, we were going to talk about that, and Val hasn't mentioned anything yet as far as Christmas, and for like we did last year, where
Yeah.
we drew.
yeah,
our
it could
name
be a $50 gift. It doesn't have to be anything.
But what are we going to do this year?
Yeah.
You know, we don't know what we're going to do. We haven't decided yet.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk this week.
Yeah, we will
So,
find out this week.
yeah. So, well, anyway, I just want to let you both know. I mean, we have had more than our fair share of amazing holiday memories,
Mm-hmm.
and I certainly have loved all the Christmases we've had. And I know not every family is as fortunate as we are. And I know Val would say the same. I just want to thank you both. I mean, we have been so fortunate. So,
We've been truly blessed.
Yep.
Yes.
so
As are we.
Yes.
I love you both very much.
I love you too, John.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Crying bunch
Yep.
of baby.
Love you guys.